because I tried Alpha Brain, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do this and take an antidepressant.
I have 2 bottles of Alpha Brain.
So now that I'm off of the happy pills, I think I'm gonna try that again.
Try the other happy pills instead.
Mm-hmm. But no. So I'm gonna tell you the story about how I tried to buy tobacco at a Walgreens and I got refused it.
Wait.
So
Chaser, you know what I mean?
that's what he does at the firehouse all day. That's what our tax
Funny
dollars go
story.
towards.
Yeah, I'm the expert. Gummy bear throwing in the mouth drawer ever. Yeah, we got to like, so the kitchen's probably like from the like couch to the sink, probably good like, I don't know, 25 feet. That's my record. 25 feet with the gummy bear. I'm just saying.
Is that what you do with your time at the firehouse?
Yeah, when I'm bored. That or paint tools. That's our new thing. So we just like, because we have the tools and because they look like shit after you get them out of a fire or do stuff with them. So you repaint them and sharpen them and stuff. So I got bored on my second day on the ladder. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go outside and paint some tools because I'm bored. And then I got the whole crew doing it with me, or most of the pipemen and a couple drivers, because that's just what we do. And then we were like, oh, just paint them red. And then all I found was like some green spray paint for the handles and stuff and the Halligan to make it like let's just do green. So like we know it's ours on the fireground, you know?
And the Halligan's a giant like pry thing, right?
Yeah, it's a pry tool.
Yeah.
It's, well, I don't call it giant, but yeah. Anyways, so we painted them green, and I was like, as we were finishing painting them all green, like on the handles and stuff with the axes and the Halligans, I was like, oh, you know what'd be cool? We have red and white. What if we have blue in the automotive closet? And I found some blue, and I was like, fuck! So we changed the whole plan, and I bought a bunch of paint stripper yesterday. So we're going to strip all of them, restart them, and then we're going to do red, white, and blue. But on the flag, on the axe head, we're going to get a stencil of American flag.
Nice.
And paint an American flag on it.
As long as it's not the Punisher skull.
No,
That's all that matters.
We're going to do a black American flag stencil, and then like one little red strip, red line.
You okay?
Moto as fuck. But.
So I like moved my coffee over here.
Feel free to speak into the microphone.
I moved my coffee closer to me, and the lid came off, and now hot coffee is on my leg and currently on my scrotum. So that's nice. I feel fantastic. Yes.
Stupid.
I had a train of thought, but that totally just derailed it. Okay, so is this gonna be? Could this potentially be the place you're at till you retire,
Fuck no.
or do you get moved around a bunch?
It's a bidding system. So I'll do my hazmat class now in May, or my chemistry class now at the end of May, and then I'll do the actual hazmat tech course at the beginning of August, I think, sometime around then. So I'll start that then, and then I'll get my hazmat tech certification. And there's only 2 hazmat stations in the city. So since I have my hazmat tech, I now have priority to bid there. Yeah.
And are you at somewhere that's currently a hazmat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm at 17. So I was lucky to get that spot.
Does that pay you more? I'd imagine.
No.
It just makes you cooler. Gives you more
You
qualifications.
just get more qualifications, and it just gives you bidding rights for different stations. Like Wildland's the best because there's more Wildland stations around the city. But what was the timer for? I forgot. What was the timer for?
The milk.
Milk.
Let me go see if it's actually cold.
He's getting milk out of a freezer. I don't know why.
So speaking of the Wildland guys,
Uh-huh.
I heard a story one time of like one of the firefighters just straight up coming out of the engine with like a machete, and they're like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Well, we've had some brush, so I just got a machete."
Oh
on my
yeah,
back."
I know that guy. Yeah.
Oh.
He just wears a machete in his back, and he got in trouble for it. Chief was
Oh,
like,
well,
"Why do
okay.
you have that?" And he was like, "Because we're a Wildland station."
Okay,
And
so
he just, sorry, go ahead.
Speaking of machetes, I'm not going to say who this happened to because I don't know if he wants me to like air his shit out. But
say it.
a mutual friend of ours that recently had a kid, the kid's mom, her house got broken into by some dude wielding a machete. Yeah. So, dude, watch. I'll read you the text. It's fucking wild. I get this last night at like 9 o'clock at night. Me and her are at dinner. Or maybe I was playing. No, it was early in the day. I was playing Elden Ring, and it kind of threw me off guard. Okay, so yeah, so he goes, "Baby almost got murdered today by a home intruder around 10 or 11 at lady's house. Chick gets a call from her stepmom because someone broke in with a machete. Chick calls the cops. Matruder had the machete. It took the fucking... so the lady, right, the baby mama, took her little sister hostage with the machete. Cops had to break in, get the dude. They got him and arrested him and everything. But, yeah, there's my machete story for the day. So wild shit doesn't only go down in Albuquerque, apparently. It's funny. Come on, it's a machete. What is this, Tarzan?
Machete Control 2022.
But I was gonna tell a story about my tobacco. So grab the bag out from this drawer, the empty bag of tobacco.
What did I just say? No.
Okay, so recently, people in the world of politically correct.
You asked me to do it.
So this used to be the brand, kind of racist. Not gonna lie, a little bit racist, right? Redman, but they changed it to America's Best. So I went on break a couple weeks ago at work, and
Well, who makes it?
And well, that's my point. And so the brand is America's Best. And most of it's grown here in the States, right? So I go down to Walgreens, and that's like one of the only places in town that regularly sells it. So I go down there and I completely forget to change their name. So I bought an energy drink and I tell a lady like, "Hey, can I get a bag of Redman?"
Time out. Look up Pinkerton Tobacco Company.
So I was like, "Hey, can I get a bag of Redman?" She looks at me all weird. I'm like, "Tobacco. Can I get?" It's a bag of chewing tobacco. It's a pouch. It's red, white, and green. She goes down and she pulls out the drawer, and I see like two levels. And the first, like little shelves rather, and the first shelf has the new brand, America's Best, right?
Yeah.
And then under it is Redman. She goes for the Redman, stops, pauses, corrects herself, grabs the America's Best, pulls that out. And I thought to myself, like, what the fuck? And it's one of those moments where you like accidentally speak out loud, you know? And I was like, "Hey, can I just get the Redman?" And then she looks at me like offended, right? And then it clicked. Oh, this chick is Native American. I felt so bad. She's Native American. And she's like, "Oh, we're not allowed to sell that." I'm like,
Can I just have it then?
I asked her that. I was like, "Can I have it for free?" She's like, "No, I'll get in trouble." I was like, "All right, fine, whatever." But I felt kind of bad because I asked a Native American chick to sell me a bag of Redman. But then I thought about it more. And I don't do anything in my days at work, so I looked into it, right? And I'm sure you could find it, but
Who owns it?
the Pinkerton tobacco sells multiple things, right, other than Redman.
Yeah.
But the Redman brand itself was founded by Native Americans.
Oh.
Now, obviously, I'm just assuming at this point, obviously, whoever runs the brand now are not Native American, because I feel like if they were, why would they change it? But so what I'm assuming is a bunch of bigwig executives, some white people, went in there and changed the name to America's Best, thinking they're doing the right thing by the Native Americans. But in reality, they're just gentrifying and whitewashing their own brand, which makes no fucking sense to me.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah. But and the funny thing about the Pinkertons, do you know the origin of that? Like who the Pinkertons were, like back in the
don't tell me. Marshalls?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Correct. They were marshals, and they got, at least in the South,
I learned that from Red Dead.
in the South, mainly in Missouri and Kansas, they were hired out by Wells Fargo because Wells Fargo kept having their stagecoaches and their train cars robbed left and right by the Jesse James gang. And if I remember this correctly, the only claim to fame the Pinkertons had back then when it came to actually law enforcement was
Let's chew it.
they were able to take out the Cole Younger gang, which was the copycat gang to Jesse James. Same thing, because Jesse James, do you know anything about their whole setup or who they were?
I know they were outlaws. They had shotguns and stole money.
Yeah.
That's
so it was started by Frank and Jesse James.
Right there, just look at Redman history.
And they got their friends, some of their cousins in on it, and they were known because they were the first family ran gang, right? And the big thing with Frank and Jesse is they used to fight alongside a dude named Bloody Bill. I think Bloody Bill Masterson, I think is his name. And they were bushwhackers for the South during the Civil War. Anyway, so they became famous because of the fact not only were they stealing a ton of money, but they were claiming to give it back to a bunch of poor people, and they were all a family. So the Cole Younger gang shows up, tries doing the same thing. They lasted for like 3 months, and they all got wiped out because, I mean, they were just a bunch of hillbillies. They weren't actually, like, in the military ever. They were just a bunch of hillbillies trying to, like, rob people. And the Pinkertons at this point...
Oh, that sounded so gross.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry. The
yeah, so moist.
the Pinkertons, at this point, when the Cole Younger game showed up, they were so, like, they were losing so much credibility because they were getting killed. They were losing a bunch of money on behalf of Wells Fargo. So when they finally, like, whacked the Cole Younger gang, I think that actually saved them from being disbanded. Now, if I remember that correctly. I became obsessed with this shit when I was a kid. Fucking obsessed.
Respect. Which side though?
What do you mean?
With the Jesse James?
Jesse James. Jesse James for sure. And then if you want to watch a really good movie, The Assassination of Jesse James with Brad Pitt, really fucking good. And Casey Affleck plays the dude. His name's Bob Ford. He plays the dude that killed Jesse James. And it's super fucked up because it's pretty accurate to what actually happened in real life, but super fucked up. So he assassinates Jesse James, and Bob.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, Bob Ford was in the gang, right?
Yeah.
Sees as a bounty. Him and the brother conspire, and he kills Jesse in his home, right in front of his wife and everything, right? Yeah, and it's super weird the way it happened too, because Jesse was known for always having his gun on him, like quite literally always having his belt on. But for whatever reason, a Sunday after church, they got home, and he pulls a chair aside, and he gets on it to fix a picture. And for whatever reason, he took his gun belt off, put it on the ground, gets up, and as he's adjusting it, Bob Ford pulls out his gun, blows his head off. Right? Like, brains all over the wall, fucking right in like, the wife gets covered in brains, yeah.
Holy shit.
Him and his brother go on the run, because now the Jesse James gang, to include Frank, who's the older brother, they're like, we're going to fuck this dude up, right? They never end up getting him for a little bit, but then this idiot gets too cocky. Him and his brother go to the Pinkertons, and they're like, hey, we killed him. Here's where the body is. Here's the proof. And the U.S. government gets a hold of the body.
Yeah.
And they go back to the Pinkertons, and they're like, hey, we can make money off of this. I'm thinking I remember this correctly. They're like, hey, we can make money off of this. And so with the Pinkertons, in like conjunction, I guess, in conjunction with the U.S. government, they take Jesse James' body, put it in a casket, but like the cover of it is glass, and they parade the body all over the United States, showing the world. Cause I mean, like, they had newspapers, but they weren't that fast, showing the United States that Jesse James was dead.
Holy.
And you can find that shit. You want to pull that up real quick? Let's look up U.S. government showing off Jesse James' corpse.
Just look up Jesse James' corpse.
It's super fucked up. And
He says a lot of words, and you're like, I can take 3 or a half of that all the way out.
See, so infamous his corpse went on tour. Yep. So so they start doing that, and then Bob Ford and his brother, they actually write a short play that's all about how they assassinated him. And so they go on tour across the United States, and it's like a 15-minute little gig. All it is, it's the setup of Jesse James gets up, and Bob Ford plays himself in the stage play of him killing Jesse James. Well, Frank James gets wind of this and goes, fuck no, you're not going to go around bragging that you killed my brother. And at this point, he's like 65, I think. He's old. So Frank shows up to one of the shows, goes backstage, and kills Bob, I believe. He either killed him backstage or he found him backstage, followed him to a bar, and killed him. It was one of those two.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, see?
Not as savage, but damn. Mm-hmm. What the fuck? Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? 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 What the
Super fucked up.
It really fucking was the Wild West, huh?
Yeah, they didn't give a shit, dude.
Oh, we're heading there, bro.
And then yeah, that's another way that they made money off of him with the little dime books.
We're heading there, baby.
Yeah, super fucked up.
Huh. It's pretty tight.
Like, could you imagine that now? If like, let's say the SEALs killed Osama bin Laden.
We fucking did.
And
They put him on Time magazine.
But they they brought the body back to the States and put the body on display. And just you could buy tickets, see the corpse live of Osama bin Laden.
dude, that
Could
doesn't.
you imagine?
Dude,
That's what it's like. That's what it was like. Well, because the government hated Jesse James so much. Because
that's pretty identical then, huh?
because he was stealing he was stealing money from the banks, but like a lot of times that money could get because they couldn't track it that well, obviously, but they could assume that it was like the US government money, and it was just added on to the fact that this is all post Civil War.
Yeah.
Right? So anyone from the Confederacy is either not claiming it, got charged with war crimes, or they became outlaws. And so to know, because Bloody Bill Masterson, if you want to find him, he's just this mountain man looking guy. The one picture of him, that like the most famous one, he just looks like he's crazy, right? He just looks insane. And what they were known for is ambushing these the Union soldiers. Yeah, on the far right where he's kind of slanted. Yeah, him. This episode of the OnlyKings Podcast is brought to you by OrganicPricedBooks.com. Guys, there's not been a better time to get into collecting comics, and OrganicPricedBooks.com has multiple formats such as the Omnibus, Deluxe hardcover, and trade paperbacks at huge discounts, such as The Amazing Spider-Man Volume 5, originally at $125, marked down to $80. Use my discount code NOAH, N-O-A-H, at checkout for an additional discount on top of what you're already getting, which can range from anywhere between 25 to 42% off. Again, OrganicPricedBooks.com, discount code NOAH, N-O-A-H, for an additional discount. Now back to the show.
Fucking.
Yeah, he looks like a fucking pirate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
the
that
Captain Morgan guy.
It is. It really is. Look at him. Look up a picture of Captain Morgan now. The brand.
Yeah, so this dude was known for training his militants on, like, back then they called it bushwhacking, but now it's just ambushing. And so they trained him on how to ambush, and they would ambush Union soldiers, and what they were known for. This is
Same person. It's the same fucking person.
And this is when this I'll say this and grab the drink.
Yeah.
This is when this became popular in the States. What they would do is they would fucking bushwhack the Union soldiers, cut their dicks off and their balls, and shove them in their mouths. So that when the rest of the Union would come and find their fucking buddies dead, they find their dicks in their mouths. So when they found out that, they connected Jesse James to him, they found, we can parade around the dead corpse of a dude who trained and probably did cut our homies' balls off, we're definitely going to do it.
Damn. That's
American history is fucking wild, dude.
super fucked up.
Yeah, super fucked.
Hey, that gives me an idea. Look up where the phrase "dick in your hands" comes from. Caught with my
Yeah.
Yeah.
They caught some dude
No,
chopping off a dick, and he's like, ah!
No, like I'm sure it came from somewhere like someone like was taking a piss or something and got killed or some shit. Like, how did he die? He got caught with his dick in his hands. You're gonna get some weird shit. I already know from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like when we were trying to look up the
Mary Jane pinup.
Yeah, Mary Jane pinup, and I just got like a shit ton of porn. That's all it was. I was trying to get a tattoo idea, but it didn't fucking work out that well.
This looks gay.
The phrase finders. We'll search the phrase. It's an org site, so. Top bar. Look, it says search.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
The phrase finder? Okay, that's something we've got to have bookmarked for this shit. I thought it was going to be very useful.
I give up.
What are you looking up?
I was
Caught with
curious.
his dick in his hand.
Like, have you ever heard that phrase before? Like, he was caught with his dick in his hand or whatever.
Or like you shit the bed, one of those kind of phrases.
Yeah, like I'm just I was kind of
Which is
curious where those
now
phrases came from.
completely owned by Amber Heard, by the way.
Why?
Because she shit. What?
I haven't been following that.
You can't be real.
I'm not. I have not been following that. I saw like one little snippet of like.
Am I the first
lawyers.
person to tell you that Amber Heard shit in Johnny Depp's bed? There's no way.
You are. I didn't know that was the thing.
Okay, so yeah, what?
That's just-
How have you not told him?
I assume the memes caught up.
That's what I'm assuming.
I've been staying off the memes because you told me there was spoilers for John for.
Oh,
the new
true.
movie.
Okay,
Yeah.
true. There is spoilers going around. I know a couple of things about that movie now that I wish I didn't know, but yeah. So because there were rumors about this when all the abuse first started coming out. Okay, so this is how do you say that? Kauai?
Word.
Kauai. K.
I have no idea.
UII coconut milk.
Ooh, senpai.
He told me to get him something at the gas station, and he was like, "Just surprise me." So when me and Elias went, I was like, "Okay, I'll surprise him."
Oh yeah.
And
So
I grabbed
since,
the weirdest thing. I could
since
find
Joey's
next
on
to
the
it.
mic today, we've got Springer behind the computer. Thank you.
Hello.
How was it? It didn't look like it tastes good.
At first, it's bad, but then it kind of grows on you. What I don't like
Is the dragon fruit
is no, like there's bits of
coconut?
there's little bits of something in it. I don't think that's coconut. Try that.
No, I refuse.
There's like little chewy things in there.
It's nut.
If that was calcified cum, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's probably coconut.
Yeah. Anyway,
Contains coconut and milk.
so there were reports, like like internet rumors of when the abuse started coming out, like in 2019, I think, late 2018.
Yeah.
Of Amber Heard, like either she cut his finger off or like she hit him with a glass bottle and it sliced a part of his finger off, something, and then the other part of it that was circulating around was that she took a shit in the bed, right? And then it was like, well, was she asleep and shit? Was she drunk? Did she actually like pop a squat, hold on to the bed rest and just kind of let it go? Like, what was going on? Well, it came out in court, a week and a half ago, right? About a week and a half ago, it comes out in court, and the lawyers, I think it's Johnny Depp's lawyer, is cross-examining Johnny Depp. See if you can find where they're talking about because he talks about human fecal matter. He's trying to be so professional and keep it together, but he goes, yeah, I got a text message from my friend, and he said it wasn't a good time to go over. And I said, well, why not? And he goes, well, sent me a picture, and I saw human fecal matter on my side of the bed, and watch. Let me see if I can find it on YouTube, and I'll tell you what the actual.
Oh, that's 51 minutes. No way.
No.
That's
Let's see. Let's see.
bro. This trial is just totally.
I found
off
one
the
that's like 2
walls.
minutes long.
Play it.
Yeah, if it's yeah, maybe.
I don't know, just play it. See what happens.
Unmute.
Just
We'll see if there's an actual like.
There was no truth to it
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
I felt it my responsibility to stand up
No, keep going forward. Keep going forward. This isn't it.
in that instance.
Complete shock of the domestic abuse allegations made against him.
Because if not, I found you one thing you can pull up.
Just get out of this. Go to YouTube.
Here, I sent you it on your text. Just try to find it on YouTube. But yeah, they tried blaming this human-sized shit on the dogs, and they have like little teacup Yorkies, and he's like, I've been with those dogs for years, and the dog did not poop the bed. It's so fucked up. But no, I agree. Like I think it's kind of wild that this is being, televised everywhere. I mean, you just pull regular YouTube and you can watch the live stream, or even like on the TV out in the living room. Yeah,
All right,
that first one.
Before we start that fucking thing, I just like the only experience I've had with this so far. I can't remember. Like,
Did a girl shit your bed?
no. Like the trial is that like I was on Reddit and I saw like there was like a quick 5-minute bit of like them going back and forth, and the lawyers like toward the end were just his lawyer, Heard's lawyers were just standing up going, "Oh, objection, hearsay," and they just like did that for like 4 or 5 times. They had like reword the question like 4 or 5 times on that, and then like they switched lawyers out, and then the lawyer asked Johnny Depp a question about, or one of the guys, I can't remember who, like the doctor or like the set, someone on the set, about like his finger and why he didn't show up, and he started telling him, and he objected his own question, and then like the first comment is like, so that's what $1 million worth of lawyers gets you, and then someone's like, no, those are probably like the only dudes, and I can't remember exactly how to quote it, but like they're like, no, because I'm sure any decent lawyer probably said you're not gonna win. And those are the lawyers that would take that.
Yes,
That's what you
100%.
Yeah.
So throw the captions on and kind of just scroll through it. I'll mute it so we don't take up the airway. But, yeah, there's a point where he's talking about human fecal matter. And it is fucking, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I was saying is, like, I think it's ridiculous that this is being, like, if you're talking just straight up, like, high profile cases. Personally, like, oh, here we go.
And she was still rattling off all the wrongs I'd done to her. And that
Oh, skip forward. Just kidding. I just saw bed, so I thought that.
was a lie.
I'm working on it.
Yep, sorry.
I'll let you know.
Yes, thank you.
How about that?
Okay.
So as far personally, I don't think this should be televised because these are two people's personal lives that they're trying to hash out, and to put this in front of the world is crazy.
Who agrees to that?
I don't think they did. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, then I don't understand.
The only person,
That's-
well, I take that back. I think because the only person that benefits to this being televised is Johnny Depp.
Yeah. So do you think his lawyers will like have it televised? Like how? I mean,
Maybe.
So after we figured this out, I would love to know like what's the process. 'Cause I thought like because I know like high profile cases aren't televised.
Well,
They
that's
have
my
to have the sketch artists in there.
So
like,
that's my point. Is like, but what kind of fucking country do we live in where this is being televised and like
it's like idiocracy.
Well, literally. And I remember I was listening. I think I was listening.
no, yeah, it fucking is, right?
No, and I think I was listening to an episode of Rogan or it was some podcast, and the guy had brought up how he was watching CNN or MSNBC, and they were like reporting on Ukraine about some new shit that happened, like a new high value target that Russia had bombed. And then it was like, breaking news, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and it completely cuts away from a war to this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think shit like this.
Like I think it's fucking funny. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, it's
but-
hilarious, but it's wrong.
Yeah, like
I think that's why it's so hilarious, is because of how fucked up it is.
yeah, like we all know fucking Judge Judy and that shit isn't real, but this fucking shit is like this is actually happening.
Yeah. And
Like
then,
Judge Judy's funny to watch because you're like, I know that's not actually real.
well, but then like if we're allowed to have stuff like this televised, where they're getting into very personal things, the things that the public probably shouldn't know, why isn't and another big point about this too, in my opinion, is this doesn't affect the world, right?
No.
Like this does not affect
Nothing.
anything. If anything,
This is a fucking distraction.
right, it's a distraction. But something like this is beaten like a dead horse, but the whole Epstein trial and the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, as far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty sure she settled out of court. I don't think she got charged with anything.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I don't even know how you settle out of court for that, but I think she settled out of court. So, but with something like that,
I thought she got charged.
she got arrested because there were charges. She was held until
So she didn't get convicted.
she was held without bail, but she was never convicted with anything. So with stuff like that, where we literally have leaked flight logs that have politicians, celebrities, all these high-profile people, and obviously the celebrities don't really affect too much when it comes to actual policy making in theory, but with the politicians,
Yeah.
on that affects us. Those are lawmakers, and like even today, I was watching when I was doing my laundry, I was watching the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which is a fucking joke, right? But I was watching the monologue that Trevor Noah gave, and he was like, "Yeah, it's so hard to be a." because he was roasting people like left and right, but he was like, you know, it's so hard right now to be a media person or a journalist because you're fighting against so much misinformation. You're fighting against, like, this is the height of conspiracy theories. Everyone's saying that you guys are bought off by politicians, or that half the people in this room are pedophiles. And I'm listening to that and I'm like, well, because it's true. But it's just, we're never really going to know the truth, which is sad. Yeah.
Is that unmuted?
On his telephone
Yeah.
of
Objection, Your Honor.
It's a photograph, Your Honor.
As being relayed to him by Mr. Bat.
He says he looked at it on his phone.
I'll overrule the objection as the photograph.
What was the photograph of Mr. Depp?
it was a photograph of the bed. And on my side of the bed was human fecal matter. So I understood why it wasn't a good time to go.
He's trying to hold it together so hard.
Oh, this fucking poor guy.
Response was, I mean, I laughed. It was so outside. It was so bizarre and so grotesque that I could only laugh. So I did not go down there that day.
Mr. Depp.
Bro, there's
There's a part, though, and it's fine if we don't find it. It's all good. But look at what you texted me, by the way, because I haven't heard that. He texted me something about how, like, the Russians thought Ukraine was using black magic or some shit. But, no, let this be like I know people play it off for jokes, and it's like a stereotype or whatever, but, like, let this be a cautionary tale of, like, don't stick with the crazy chick just because she's good in bed. You know? Don't stick with the crazy chick because she's hot and good in bed, because that is fucking terrifying. Like, because as far as I'm concerned, I think they're doing
that's somebody who's like got status, has money.
Johnny Depp
knows
has more
people.
money than ever heard,
Yeah, but like
ever will.
Yeah, but that's somebody like who's not like, I don't know, man, who has the resources to not be that way, and takes a shit in another person's bed.
Well, I think that's
just
Well, I think-
what the fuck.
well, I think that's a great display of the mindset of celebrities, right? Of like extremely attractive, very wealthy celebrities who think they can do quite literally whatever they want without
prime
consequence.
example can just walk up and assault somebody.
Oh my! Did you see Chappelle get fucking
Tackled by that dude? Yeah.
And then he lets me know that backstage, allegedly, Chappelle, Jamie Foxx, and Busta Rhymes jumped the dude and beat the shit out of him. So
Oh yeah,
that's-
there's this video going around. His arms all fucking broken.
yeah, his arm's broken backwards, getting held in.
And then there's a bit out there. It's hard to find because there was no cell phones allowed, but people brought them in.
Yeah.
Where what's his face? Not Chappelle.
Chris Rock?
Chris Rock walks up to
was that
walks
Will
up to the
Smith?
mic and he's like, "Was that Will Smith?"
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's
Fucking
funny.
insane, dude.
What's funny is, like, we were just in California, I think like 2 weeks ago, and we saw an ad for that festival. Netflix is a joke, and then the 2-night section of it where Chappelle was there, it was called Dave Chappelle and Friends. And we're like, oh shit, we'd love to go to that, but that would be pretty funny to see. And then that shit goes down, which I think is great. But I think it's great that he got jumped backstage. But I don't think it's great that Dave Chappelle the GOAT got fucking tackled.
He was fine, but yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's just, I don't know, man.
Well, if you see the video, someone took a video of the stage. He gets tackled. The guy who did the tackling falls down. Chappelle kind of falls back, gets back up, cigarette still in mouth, by the way, and starts charging the guy. But like 15 people of security already got to him first.
Yeah.
But Chappelle is wearing these like super bright white sneakers, and you just see these pair of sneakers just like charge towards the dude and like jump into the tackle. Yeah, it's pretty great. So, did you find anything about black magic that the Russians were using? Unhinged Russian media claims Ukraine using satanic black magic to concentrate weapon. What? Consecrate? What? Yeah, my eyesight sucks. Can you zoom in a little bit? In a bizarre claim, the outlet added, disciples of otherworldly forces tried to consecrate their weapons and make marks with blood in order to give their arms extra energy. That's some fucking Dark Souls shit, dude.
I'm done with that already.
That's fucking insane. But anyway, I think
it's like that picture of the priest like blessing the pile of AKs. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
Holy water.
No,
Yeah.
my favorite
stupid,
picture of a priest came out of the pandemic, and it's when they're all wearing masks.
Oh, the squirt gun.
And the family's holding the baby. Can you find that? Just so we could throw that up. So the family's holding the baby, and the priest has this like neon green squirt gun full of holy water,
Yeah.
and he's squirting the fucking baby in the head.
That was fucking hilarious. No, been even better than that, dude. If like to baptize them, they put them in like a little fishnet. I'm just like dumped them in. That'd be fucking amazing.
Oh, I haven't seen that one, but that's hilarious. Social distancing baptism.
what the
Jesus
fuck?
Christ. So
Get that face.
So I wanna talk about, because that's obviously a product of people being fucking. Maybe that's set up, right?
There it is. There it is. The bottom left one.
Yep.
Bro, he's so serious. Look at him, dude. That fucking priest is like,
It's like a Bond villain.
yeah, dude. Well, Mr. Bond, you fell into my trap of turning you into a baby. Prepare to die.
Does the Bond want the baba?
Because, like, look, that's obviously a product of what happens when people watch way too much news in a time of crisis, and the news is insane. And oh my God, dude, people are doing it. That baby's so confused. Like,
Okay, so I don't think that's that. I think this is a product of people not listening to the news and still doing the things they want to do, but trying to find ways around it.
well, it's fear. It's the fear of what happens if you get too close. See, that's ridiculous, man. Why is he wearing a beanie? Is that a beanie? What's he wearing?
It's just one of like their traditional hats.
It's like a mix of fear, dude. But I don't know that. It's
I'm
just,
I'm sorry.
Oh,
That's a
look at
beanie.
that.
That's a beanie. That's not a
It's-
traditional hat.
It's just people finding ways around shit. It's like, hey, could you just not do that? Could you just not do that for like however long?
Well, so where I was going with this though, because I do want your thoughts on it. That's people saying, "Oh, social distancing, protect everybody," and you know, now the media, they were hounding so hard on the vaccines, right?
Yeah.
And the left was super about mandating vaccines. You have to get the vaccine. There's no question about it. You don't get a choice. You don't get autonomy over your body. And now, I personally, like, regardless of what your views are in general, if you believe in upholding the law and, you know, just doing that fairly and as unbiased as humanly possible, whoever leaked the court documents for the whole U.S. Supreme Court, because it was a draft that got leaked. It wasn't like the Supreme Court came out and was like, hey, we're going to do it. No, it was a leak. So whether it was a clerk or an actual justice or a clerk that was put up to it by a justice, whoever did that needs to get prosecuted. First of all, 'cause that's illegal as fuck.
Well, yeah, prosecuted, and then because now whatever that document was that it's leaked, 90 pages or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
Now the media has taken that and twisted everything about that.
Exactly. So, but one of the points I want to make is now that everyone knows that Roe v. Wade could be revoked,
Yeah.
now everyone on the
There's the
left,
actual document.
now everyone on the left is absolutely fucking preaching my body, my choice. You don't get to tell me what to do with my body. You don't get to tell me what to do with my medical rights. It's like, well, where was that with the vaccine? You can't have it both ways.
Well, because it's more it's not that it's like at that point it becomes a pro-life. It's a pro-life thing. It's hey, saving lives, right? So get the vaccine because you're supposed to be saving people's lives around you, not just yours. And now it's the argument.
No, I mean, you have a mic. You can talk.
Yeah.
This isn't mine. I'm gonna save this for when we get in on like healthcare and shit. Because like my biomedical ethics book at the fucking house, I've been reading a whole lot. So when we get into it, we're gonna do it.
Because my whole thing is like, this isn't really about saving lives. And this isn't about babies. This isn't about a pro-life.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, but that's the argument, though. That's the argument that it comes down to is the right versus the left. The right saying, like, once it's conceived, it's a fucking baby, it's a life. And the left going, no, it's my body, my choice. Get that fucker out of me.
Well, see, and I don't agree because
Then what's it about?
Well, I think because specifically, I looked into this a little bit and I read the highlights of this document, and to be completely honest, along with that, I had some people DM me. That's when I put that thing up on my Instagram.
Yeah.
I had some people DM me that are a lot more interested in this than I am, and a lot more like whether like I had one person who was DM me who's like a super feminist and like super into like women's rights and body rights and all that kind of stuff. And one of the things that's getting pulled out of this is that this is, yeah, sure, they're cloaking it with the whole baby thing, right? Yeah. And it's like it's about saving kids and abortion, like killing babies is wrong. Like, sure, right? That's what they're cloaking it with. But in reality, a lot of what this bill is bringing up is privacy. And the reason why they are trying to revoke Roe v. Wade, the chief argument is that there is nothing strictly in the Constitution that says you can have abortions. Therefore, on that basis, the federal government can't do anything about it. So as far as the federal government goes, they're going to revoke Roe v. Wade, which is
left up to the states.
which is just case law, and then remove it to the states. And what's scary about that is that opens the door, right? So if you're revoking things on a federal level because it's not strictly in the Constitution, well, what does that do with things like gay marriage, trans rights, trans healthcare? What does that do with all that kind of stuff? Because that could begin to get removed at the state level. Like, say what you want about DeSantis, but he's one of the first people that would revoke the ability to become a transgender in his state. There is no way he won't.
No.
Which is wrong, right? Because personally, my political view is just leave people alone. As long as they're not hurting other people, leave them alone. If they want to do a genitalia swap and surgery, or if they want to marry someone of the same sex, let them do their thing. If they want to get an abortion, whatever, man. The only limit on abortion, like personally, is like you shouldn't be able to get one in like the third trimester. You know what I mean? That's pretty fucked. But like,
what are you to say though?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So you have to kind of let it. You can't have
a doctor. I don't have a vagina. Not my place.
Well, yeah, you can't have it both ways. But that's another thing I don't like, actually.
Not.
So look, like, I get that, like, obviously women need to have a fucking opinion regardless of what the subject is, but like, especially with something like this. But I don't like the statement. I think it's lazy, honestly. The statement of, well, they're men, they shouldn't have a say in abortion rights.
Okay.
No, I think that's fucking lazy because you're effectively cutting off half the population from having an opinion. I think that's wrong, personally. I think that's very wrong.
Why?
Because it's ignorant to cut off half. You are not allowing decision making to be happened by 50% of either a populace or even of your lawmaking people.
Because that decision doesn't affect you, though. Nothing about a woman having an abortion affects you. It's her choice. It's her body, right?
Yes.
So why does your opinion matter then?
Okay,
why does your voice and opinion, 50% of the population, matter when it only affects the other 50%?
Okay. So let's say I was a policymaker, right?
Right.
And let's say by whatever barometer or whatever gauge that you want to measure this. Let's say I'm in a room with other lawmakers.
Time out real quick. Hey, this is taking place in the Supreme Court, right?
Yeah.
Look up the ratio of men to women in the Supreme Court real quick.
Yeah, so let's say I'm the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And let's say we're all trying to make this decision.
Okay.
Let's just say that some of the women on the Supreme Court are fucking dumbasses and are not good decision-making people. You need someone with rational thought to counterbalance that, and at a bare minimum to make them think that.
So it has to be a man?
Well, if it's not a woman, then who is it?
Another woman?
Okay, so another man can't help a woman think. I'm not saying that like it needs to, because what I think is ridiculous is like on Fox News, right?
I'm trying to help you not get caught up in your own shit.
Oh, I
real
know.
quick, yeah.
But like on Fox News, right? They're doing a panel of like what they should do about this, and it was all only men. That's wrong.
Right.
But I would say that's wrong with gun rights. I would say that's wrong with voting rights. I would say that's wrong with any other hot topic right now. You need to include both genders in every conversation. But this goes back to, okay, here's a great example. When Joe Biden, when his administration got a nomination available to them for the Supreme Court, what was the first thing they said when they came out about it?
No, fucking
Do you remember? No. The first thing they said was, we are going to find a black woman and make her the first black woman Supreme Court justice. Why? Why does it have to be a black woman? What if you took whatever the most qualified black woman that you could find, right? And then you found you had like a list of people, right? And it came down to a black woman and a white woman. Okay. What if the white woman is just a better candidate, or it could be potentially better at the job than the black woman, but you're going to choose the black woman because you really want a black woman? As far as I'm concerned,
That's a totally different conversation.
No, not at all. Not
Yes,
at all.
it is.
No, not at all. Because you are choosing someone because of a certain by a
Ratio is 2 to 1 in favor of men.
in favor of men.
There's 6 men on that are current justices.
Okay.
One is the chief justice, and the rest are all associate
Okay.
justices. And there's 3 women currently.
Okay, so by your standard, 60% of the Supreme Court needs to shut up about abortion.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
I don't think so.
That's wrong.
Because how many women does that leave? 3, right?
Yes, but you still need that full panel of people, because in theory, they are all
No one wants you to tell you what to do about your body.
No, not at all.
He does.
Not
That's
at
what
all.
He's saying women can't think for themselves.
That's
they need
not
a man
what I'm
to be-
saying. That is not what I'm saying. That is see, that's twisting my words. That is twisting my words. I'm saying the idea, and I get that it's completely corrupt and it's screwed, right? And quite frankly, with how fucked our government's gotten, I wouldn't exactly be opposed to having only women do topics, right? I would not be opposed to that, because right now we're so fucked anyway. We could throw anything at the wall and see what shit sticks. But in theory, the Supreme Court has to be a collective mind of critical thinkers who know enough about whether it's the federal law or federal case law to be able to come to a collective and sound judgment. Now, to cut out 60% of that is wrong.
But that's the thing. Abortion's not about the law. It's about morality.
Yes, it is. It has to be about law.
But here's the thing. When a baby comes out of your body, then you can decide what to do with it. But the fact that babies purely come out of women, despite, I'm not going to get into transgenderism.
No,
I get the point you guys are making.
That's what I'm trying to say. Is that if you add men to this thing, it doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect men at all.
Okay. Now listen.
Well, here's the thing.
This was.
What if testosterone regulation became...
Okay, this was my second point. It's not just about killing kids. In my opinion, this is like the medical version of the Patriot Act. Okay, what was the Patriot Act? Oh, we're going to spy on Americans so that we can potentially find terrorists, right? They have found exactly 0 terrorists that can be directly linked, as of now actually, that can be directly linked to the Patriot Act. But what has the Patriot Act done for this country? It's violated privacy rights. That is the chief thing that it does. It makes our phones listen to us. It's made going to the airport a pain in the ass. And now, and now there's a huge government overreach that has accomplished exactly 0 of its job, right? Now we look at why they're revoking Roe v. Wade. Yes, on the surface, it's, we don't want women having abortions. Okay, yes, that is bad and that is wrong. However, there's a lot more in there that is sectioned off, and it is completely talking about privacy rights and privacy abilities, but on the medical side, right? And then it's also basing that the federal government cannot do anything just because it's not in the Constitution. Why I think that's wrong is because we are now living in an age where there are so many things happening around us that the founding fathers could not have predicted. The Constitution is becoming extremely
Outdated.
Thank you. Perfect. Outdated.
Yeah.
It's becoming extremely outdated. To not make any major change, like we have amendments, sure, but to not make any extreme changes because of what we're facing, like the founding fathers had no idea about AI.
Okay, but
Or search engines?
Time out. You're going around in a totally different direction.
No, I'm
We're
not.
talking about something else now. Now you're talking about fucking AI.
Yes, that's
and
my
privacy.
Yes, because that's what's in the draft.
Right.
It's not just about kill. So again, the reason why I'm bringing this all up, if you are taking out with this specific situation that we are in right now, if this was only about abortions and only about killing kids, yes, there is an argument to have only women decide. But that's what's not going on right now. In this draft, it is so much more. So if you are cutting out 60% of a thought process or the ability to make a thought process on this draft, that's a horrible idea. I don't care if you're cutting out 60% and leaving the men out or leaving all the women out. Either way, it is a bad idea because, again, in theory, these people are qualified to do their jobs properly. So to remove 60% of your ability to decide a draft is a horrible thing, regardless if the public knows about it or not. And so now that there's this unfair public disdain against this draft, no matter how you feel about it, right? Now there's an unfair pressure on this draft. So now they should drop the whole thing entirely now.
Well, yeah.
Because now you can't make an informed decision because you have so many people pushing you one way or the other. You see what I'm trying to say? Like, it's not just about killing kids.
I understand that, but not that wasn't the point of the conversation, though. That wasn't the point I was trying to make.
Okay, what are you trying to make then?
I wasn't making a point about Roe v. Wade. But the draft they sent, I don't give a fuck about that. I was talking about Roe v. Wade specifically, like not the medical privacy part of it, but the actual like abortion part of it.
Oh,
the privacy thing's totally something else.
But that's the problem, though, is that it's not.
Right.
That's the problem. Is in this draft, they're all together
So the draft's just all bad, right?
for the most part.
Okay.
Oh, if you're talking about specifically like who should decide if they have an abortion, yeah, it should be the woman that's pregnant.
There. Okay. That's what I was trying. I was trying to fucking help you out there for the longest time, dude. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. I was trying to.
But
That's the point I was trying to get you to agree with was that yeah.
Oh yes, but
Like if there was a specific decision of law going in or whatever saying like, hey, women can't have abortions, would it not be fair to say, hey, take out 60% of that fucking vote because it doesn't affect them?
yeah.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
But
That's
it's-
what I was
but
trying
it's-
to say.
yes, but it's
So
not
Roe
only
v. Yeah, that whatever that. I haven't read that document, so I have no
Draft.
idea.
Yeah.
I haven't
So
read the draft.
here's the best way I can have it put because I had a friend of mine again who's super
Shit, that's why we're going in circles there.
who's super into this shit. So here's the way she put it. Okay, so
Yeah. See, and then
the wording. So this is a friend of mine. I'm not going to say who it was, but just a friend of mine who's super into this. The wording in the draft of said proposed bill talks a lot about having deeply rooted historical significance. That's like, that's literally in the draft. Like there is no deeply rooted historical significance of abortions, right? That's in the draft. And because the founding fathers never said anything about abortion and it was never in the Constitution to begin with, then there's grounds for abolition. But neither, and in her opinion, neither is same-sex marriage or trans health care. And though it is a bill that proposes abolishing Roe v. Wade, it mentions other issues. And then here's the actual citation from the draft. It's on page 5. If you saw that draft pulled up.
Okay, so time out real quick while he's looking for that.
Yeah.
So honestly, I think if I had to say this has nothing to do with the document, or it has stuff to do with the draft and nothing to do with Roe v. Wade. I'm not talking about Roe v. Wade anymore. Not my place. Whatever.
Yeah.
But the fact that now this is being brought up, like, hey, the founding fathers never said this. This isn't in the Constitution. It's gonna go fucking bye-bye. I don't want to say it, but I feel like this would be grounds for people opening up the conversation. Okay, maybe the Constitution is no longer valid then.
I agree.
Make a new Constitution.
And that's scary.
That's fucking terrifying.
That is scary because perfect. We hold that Roe and Casey, so that's Roe v. Wade and Casey v. Mississippi. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Roe and Casey must be overruled. The Constitution makes no reference to abortion, and no such right is implicitly protected by any constitutional provision, including the one which the defenders of Roe and Casey now chiefly rely. The Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment. The provision has been held to guarantee that some rights are not mentioned in the Constitution, but any such right must be, quote, deeply rooted in this nation's history and tradition, end quote, and, quote, implicit in the concept of ordered liberty, end quote. So, no, and I agree, because, look, we can't do away with the Constitution. That's what makes this country great. That's the basis of this country. However, there need to be very specific, like, it depends on what subject you're talking about, obviously, but there need to be very specific and very broad additions because of the world that we live in now.
That's what fucking amendments are for, right?
Right, but we're not making any. We're just getting rid of shit.
Which is fucking... Okay, so it's just stupid then, dude.
Yes.
Because then... I don't know, man. It's just fucking dumb. It's a dumb way to be like, hey, we're just going to get rid of this. I don't even know how this conversation came up, but the Supreme Court was just like sitting in a room one day like, hey, how about we just fucking get rid of this shit?
Well, okay, so here's another angle that a buddy of mine sent me. And I don't need to really pull it up because it's not a very long take. But, and I didn't even think of this really, but right now, World War III is like a nut hair away from getting kicked off, it seems like.
Yeah.
Because you look at like the some of the ground rules, or I guess conditions, that NATO set forward in front of Russia. And they're like, hey man, if you use chemical attacks on Ukraine, NATO's going to get involved. If you start attacking airports or modes of transportation, I believe as well. See if you can find NATO's conditions towards Russia.
Okay, first of all, NATO's a fucking joke.
Yes.
Second of all...
But it's what we have right now.
Second of all Okay, so there's going to be a bunch of shit about Russia using chemicals, using whatever fucking
it's
bombs.
Not confirmed yet.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
And I brought that up with him and David. I was like, it's weird to see it. Like, we read World War II history. We see it sometimes, like old propaganda, loose league sink ships, shit like that. It's weird to see modern day propaganda though, because it seems so real. That's what propaganda is supposed to do. Like the Ghost of Kiev or whatever the hell that shit. Like, bro, that's fucking propaganda.
Yeah.
That dude's probably fucking dead somewhere.
He is.
For sure.
He is dead.
But they came out and they're like, oh, Ghost of Kiev isn't dead. He's
Yeah.
flying around still shooting down Russians. Like, no, dude, the fucker's dead.
I found reports that he was dead.
Exactly, but that's what I'm trying to say. There is so much, and this is a prime example of misinformation. There is so much misinformation being leaked by the Ukrainian media. Because why?
Well,
it makes sense though, because like, how else do you keep a fucking small population that like we're probably like at least 40% already took off to fight for their country? Fucking propaganda.
Well, what's scary too? Well, not scary, but like ironic is if you can find articles from like our media from our media sources where they're just talking shit about Ukraine, about how they're all full of Nazis and how they're like the offspring of the Third Reich or the remnants of the Third Reich and this, that, and the other, why we can't support them, right? But, okay. So, yeah, see if you can find anything about like where they're talking about, hey, if you use chemical attacks, because I know chemical attacks was one of them. And the only reason why they can't confirm they're using chemical attacks is because the major attack that involved chemicals was a chemical plant. So they can't say like, oh, well, did they just destroy the plant and do nothing about it? Did they destroy the plant and use chemical weapons? But my point is NATO keeps giving Russia an inch and they take a mile. And so obviously we know that Russia and China are talking, they're becoming buddies, and then China and North Korea have been buddies. And I think this is general direction that has been passed down since the Cold War, from president to president of the United States, where it's like, hey, do not, no matter what you do foreign policy wise, do not let Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran become friends, or whoever Iran was back then before it became Iran. But obviously the phrasing has changed. But don't let them become friends, because if they become friends, we have World War III and we have big problems, right? So now that we know that China's in the game and they're doing whatever they're doing behind the scenes
With Taiwan.
Yeah, exactly.
They already came out about that.
But my point in bringing them up is their population rate is 1.7, I believe. Because of that, and their population was growing fast enough, they got rid of their 1 per household, and now it's 3 kids per household. Their growth rate was like 1.9. And then ours, measuring up to that, is 1.7. So this is unsubstantiated. There's no claims to support this. It's just like theoretical. But The way I see that is like, well, what if they're doing this? Let's say they were going to do it, right? Let's say this never got leaked, and then one day we all wake up and we see on our phones Roe v. Wade revoked by the SCOTUS, right? What if
we're going off the walls right now, aren't we?
like, what if it's a way to boost population so that if World War III does kick off, I mean, because if World War III kicks off, millions upon millions. You know what I mean?
Time, I gotta use the restroom before I even open that can of worms.
I mean, does that sound insane to you, Springer? So, because if World War III, what do you do? How many times? Goodness gracious! I don't know. So, because my theory when thinking about that, like from a population standpoint, if World War III kicks off, and there's going to be millions and millions in casualties, right? So what if to prepare to like replenish those numbers down the line, like decades down the line, obviously, let's say, again, this never got leaked, this never got put out, that there's a draft that could revoke Roe v. Wade, and we all wake up one day and we read in the headlines, Roe v. Wade revoked by the SCOTUS. What if that's just because they want to boost population numbers? It's a really horrible way of doing it, but it's a method.
So, like, one thing that I find, like, genuinely interesting when it comes to all of this is, so, like, have you seen, like, the requirements throughout history to join the Chinese military?
No.
So it used to be, like, you had to have, like, pretty much, like, perfect eyesight. You had to be X height, X weight. Kind of like the same thing for the U.S. military, except we allow, like, people with glasses, all this other shit. Well, because of the pollution and because a lot of things that are happening in China, their population has grown shorter, their eyesight has worsened, and their respiratory systems are like pretty much
permanently screwed. Yeah.
So China had to alter because they were not getting enough applicants into their own military that were viable as soldiers for them.
Their military is based on choice? I thought it was a forced service.
But their requirements for being into their, I don't know if it's forced service, so I'm not going to speak on that shit.
Google that shit.
Basically they had very specific requirements for what it took to be like in their military. But because of all like how their
environmental reasons
as to how their babies and how everybody's growing up or what they're maturing into, they had to alter that because their numbers for their military started dropping. And they're trying to maintain those numbers and even spike them up in the case that they do have to do a large-scale conflict. That's why when you see, like, the comparison when, like, your average U.S. soldier compared to every other military, we're, like, one of the best militaries as far as our average, like, infantrymen.
Well, because, like, I mean, not even going into,
steroids,
like nutrition or anything like that, but it's just, like, our environment of growing up is better. It's just a better place to grow up.
Sorry, pause. Conscription has never been implemented in China since 1949, as the People's Liberation Army has been able to recruit sufficient numbers voluntarily. Blah, 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 blah.
Interesting.
That's just from Wikipedia.
That's surprising. I'm going to be honest.
But, that's kind of fucking hearsay, right? Objection hearsay. No, it is.
No,
I'm not going to read Chinese law.
Well, that is scary because, like, where are we getting that information from? You know, China could be saying, yeah, we don't force people to fight. This is all volunteer, and it's a way to bolster themselves and to suck their own dick. But in reality, they could be forcing people to go in.
Does it fucking matter, though?
It could.
No.
Yeah. Well, because let's say they're not, right? Let's say they're not forcing people to join their military. And we're going under that assumption World War III breaks out, and then we find and you underestimate it. And this is all theoretical, obviously, but you underestimate it, you get in a conflict, and their numbers just skyrocket because then they start forcing people to go in their military. And it's like, oh, fuck, maybe we're outnumbered here. I think we're outnumbered anyway.
Yeah,
but
100%. Easily outnumbered.
Yeah.
Just by population number alone.
We're like the fourth largest military in the world.
Yeah, not
but
as China,
like,
China
as personnel goes.
But then
China's like number one by far.
But then our
and there's like a statistic out there. They have like 1 million man reserve army standby. Yeah, yeah, it's fucking we're totally outnumbered.
But then our budget is larger than like the top 9 combined or something.
The next 26 countries we spend more money than.
Jesus
and
Christ.
I think out of that, like 22 of them are allies.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts, right?
Okay, will you find shit about like what they're doing? I gotta pee. Yeah.
Ready? Time.
Yeah. Which,
But anyways, so I asked
Fine
Springer
about
like, what kind of
anything.
his...
You're talking about something.
Yeah,
so.
we went off track, so we're not talking about China anymore.
Oh, good.
I asked him about his opinion on Roe v. Wade, and not really like the abortion part of it, but like I was like, what the fuck is actually going on with the fucking privacy rights and stuff like that? Like, what's the bad part about that, and what are they doing?
Okay. Anyway, so the privacy.
Vietnam's number one.
They're just proving a point.
Dude, they just probably
Agent Orange ain't shit,
bro. They probably just said like, oh, I'm not gonna do that. Time out. Cut that for sure. Oh fuck. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, that kid. They probably just said like, yeah, it's our entire country. Holy shit. It's weird when you're around friends, you almost fuck up, huh?
They got an old man with a stick.
Yeah.
But when it comes to active duty personnel,
China's number one.
China's number 1, U.S. is number 3.
Yeah. See, they outnumber us by 1 million people. Almost.
Oh well.
800,000.
What are you gonna do? But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just I wish that the argument right now was only about, abortion and whether or not you should kill a kid in the womb and X, Y, and Z. But no,
let's
it's
back up, go back.
always so much more.
Yeah. See, China 3 million reserve and active duty, so they have a million man reserve army standby.
Fuck that. That's wild.
But anyways, yeah. No, I was just not to go back to the subject again, but I was just curious, like, what the actual like ramifications of the privacy shit that's going on. Because I know that's been talked for a while. Like, a lot of fucking insurance companies have been pushing for like people's medical rights to be made public. So not public, but basically not making PII anymore or HIPAA.
No,
There's been a lot of push on HIPAA about that because. Yeah, like that's why like everyone's like, oh, like the ancestry DNA shit, like, that's funny, it's cool, you get to see where your ancestors are from. But they store that shit. They save that shit.
Yeah.
Because someone's fucking bright idea was like, I'm gonna get a bunch of people to spit in a tube, give me their DNA and their genetics, so that when eventually insurance companies get the right to that DNA and genetic, they can now fucking give you insurance for possible predisposed genetic disorders.
What that reminds me of too, like as far as like the data collection goes, is how like whenever you see on Facebook, it's like, oh, what celebrity do you look like, or like what would you look like if you're old, and then you like, and these people do these data
the quizzes, the fucking personality quizzes, whatever the fuck,
they do like the data, like the back end like engineering on whatever the quiz is, and it goes to like some Russian server or some Chinese server, or like TikTok, for fuck's sake, man. I could hark on TikTok forever. I hate that app.
No, like
how invasive it is.
In the small picture, people are like, "Oh, I don't give a fuck if they know shit about me." It's like that's not what the point is. The point is they're making what's the word? I'm not smart, so it takes me a second to think of things. They're just general population, like this population of people like this certain thing or whatever, and they live mostly in this area. Okay, this population. Demographics, yeah. It's just all demographics because now they can take those demographics and be like, okay, if we were ever to invade or sabotage or do something like that, it would be easiest in A demographic, and maybe do this area in G demographic or whatever the fuck. Because let's say like fucking California, first of all, if they were like, fuck it, we're gonna invade Southern California.
That's a bad decision.
Bad decision, right?
That's a bad move.
But let's say like, okay, fuck it, we're gonna go to Oregon. Better decision.
Better, but not great. Well, because here's why it's funny you bring up Oregon, because Oregon houses the task force for it houses the command task force for Oregon, fucking Washington, Colorado, Northern California, and New Mexico's National Guard, I believe. So it houses all of that. So that's where all the firepower is.
Yeah.
See, why would you want to go fuck around there? You're going to get destroyed.
Because who's not there? The fucking people running it.
What do you mean?
That's where they house the fucking commands, right?
Yeah.
Dipshit. What's that commands?
Oh,
Old white dudes.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Why would you fucking not attack that area?
Yeah, but there's
because first of all, Oregon's full of fucking bunch of pansies.
True, but
B, that's just objection hearsay. But B,
no, that's not hearsay.
B, that's just a huge area of like old white dudes who run shit. And that's how you heard a command. Because now, if you hit that, guess what? You just took out.
Well, because allegedly though, our surface-to-air systems on the coast are so ridiculous that they can hit a nuke from like in the middle of the ocean.
I'm not talking about nukes, bro. I'm talking about like China is like D-Day that shit.
They won't.
No,
it's unrealistic now.
But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like it's that's all it is. And anything that's gonna happen in World War III style is gonna be sabotage. It's going to be electrical. It's going to be what's the word? Grid system, electrical grid system, whatever the fuck you want to call that.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
going to be that. It's going to be banks. It's going to be technology. Like those are the big 3 things.
Well, did you see how like during the pandemic, for like 3 months, we sold like a third of our power grid to China? Did you see that?
I saw it was up for that. I don't know if they actually did it. They did?
We'll have old boy pull it up when he gets back.
I saw something about that. But like, and like there was like Texas's power grid was like so fucking out of date. Ours is too by like 20 years or something like that.
Okay, so here's the problem with that. The major problem anyway is that Texas's power grid is its own.
Yeah.
It's not. That's why when that whole snowstorm hit in 2020, the end of 2020, when that whole snowstorm hit, that's why none of the other states could power Texas or power parts of Texas that bordered, because our grid systems have never been hooked up to Texas. Because they're like, oh, well, we have the best. We know what we're doing. We'll be okay. And then when everything froze, and I was having this conversation with her a while ago because we were talking about what the best sustainable energy option is.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, it's a little bit of everything. A little bit of wind, a little bit of solar, probably a
Nuclear, baby.
Probably a lot more nuclear.
Yeah.
And then good old fossil fuels. But the big problem that they found with the wind systems is when the freeze happened and all those turbines fucking froze. They had to go out there. And when they got them unfrozen, you know what powered them? Fossil fuels and gasoline. They had to use that to power the fucking wind turbines. And then and we'll have them look this up too, to even build the wind and the solar, all the mining that has to happen is just like electric cars. All the mining that has to happen to build the batteries is more detrimental to the earth. Like in the capacity that we're doing it right now, it is more detrimental to build the systems right now than it is to keep doing what we're doing. It just seems like to me we're jumping the gun. Like we need to refine the technology before we start doing more of this.
But you know what doesn't? Nuclear.
I agree. And from what I have read,
It's not that hard. Just don't build it on a fucking island that gets hit by tsunamis all the time.
Well, I think the big reason why we're not doing nuclear is just because of the stigma behind it. Everyone thinks
that's it. So the only stigma behind it was Chernobyl, and then what's that one in China? Not China, Japan that got hit by a tsunami and earthquake. You know what I'm talking about, though. It happened like back 2016.
Remember that? There was a nuclear reactor
In
Japan that got hit by a tsunami.
You know what it's called? He's gonna find out though. Thanks, buddy. But yeah, no, like that's why. Like obviously, if you build a fucking nuclear fucking I don't know what to call it factory,
Nuclear
reactor on a fault line in a tiny little island that get hit by tsunamis, what's gonna fucking happen? Someone could have thought that one ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, no, props to them. Like they built it on a tiny little island. But you know. Anyways, my point was like, yeah, build it somewhere that doesn't get earthquakes or tornadoes or any of that shit, and it'll probably be fine.
Yeah, I just
Like New Mexico.
as much as I love Elon Musk and Tesla, and all that
Fukushima.
shit. Fukushima, yes. But it's just we need to put some more time into figuring out the technology to make these things rather than just going full steam ahead. Because again, I'm pretty sure it's more detrimental to the earth, like I was saying.
Electric cars for sure. I believe that. Just the straight
And
mining
then,
takes place.
and then even if you look at something like the
And then I think like what? I don't care about that.
a liquid fluoride thorium reactor.
So these things are a lot better in energy production, and to get thorium, it's a byproduct of just mining. Like we just get it, and it's more abundant than anything that we use for energy. But the problem is actually building it.
So I was gonna say, because you're telling me all this information, and then right above your head is a headline that says "Not so fast" with thorium.
Yeah. So there's a dude that went around the country trying to like sell this shit, basically, like saying that it's the way to fucking do it. So they started building some thorium reactors, and then nobody wanted to like keep going with it because they weren't sure on the science yet. Because he had all these schematics, and it's a lot safer, and it has its own shutdown. It has like all of its
Like a dead man switch.
Yeah, basically, like it has its own safety with no like radioactive consequences if something was to happen. But nobody wanted to buy into it. Nobody wanted to do X, Y, and Z. It shut down, and then China ended up buying all that shit.
So click that American Scientist page. So I want to figure out what the but was. You know, what the catch was that led all these people to not fund it. Zoom in. Thank you.
You're gonna give that a good read for us, please.
I will.
Thank you, and we'll just talk about something else.
Yeah, there's anything interesting in that, but I don't know, dude. It's just I wish I was more educated in it than just because all the information I get is from small snippets
About
or just like anything almost just from highlights. And if it's something interesting enough, I'll look more into it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. On a lighter subject, until he finds better information on a lighter subject, I'm seeing Doctor Strange tonight.
I'm very excited for you.
Dude, I feel bad. I'm gonna be honest. I feel bad. Well, because I remember 2 months ago, I saw a little ad for Doctor Strange, and it was like tickets on sale soon, and I was like, okay, I should probably keep an eye out for that. It won't be as high of a demand as Spider-Man, I don't think, but I'll keep an eye out. And then a little bit later, I saw an ad, and it was like, in 4 weeks, Doctor Strange, get your tickets now. And I was like, oh, I should probably get my tickets now, huh? Fuck, and I forgot. And then it was like, in 3 weeks, Doctor. I was like, oh shit, 3 weeks. I was like, okay, there's gonna be seats open. It's Doctor Strange, and cause I can't tell anymore how many people follow this shit enough to know the leaks and to know about like the behind the scenes stuff and how many people are like just casual viewers.
Yeah.
But yeah, 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks ago today, pretty much, I look into Doctor Strange tickets and for like showtimes, and no shit, all the like good like IMAX showings that I could find pretty much sold out with the exception of like 2 seats here, 1 seat there, and I was like, well, can't take my friends. That kind of sucks. But I'm seeing it today at 4:30. What time is it now? So I don't. Okay. And we'll cut this in like 45 minutes.
I'm done.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I did get some things leaked spoiled for me. I was pissed, dude. Because anything.
It's just like speculation. Like, it's unproven technology, so if we use it, it could happen. But it says here, like, it is unlikely that UF4, THF4, and fission byproducts would react with other materials to cause a critically event major fires and or explosions. I find it hard to believe that anybody would endorse building new reactors using such a chemically complex and potentially unsafe, environmentally hazardous, and unproven technology.
Build a reactor, motherfucker. Fucking prove that shit.
Yeah, build it, have it power Roswell, see what happens.
And this,
we lose.
We lose Roswell. Oh well.
This one just says estimated cost less than $1 billion, including new reactor construction. So it's just like building everything in the hopes that we get some shit to fucking work.
That's what I would do. I was like, okay, well, where do we find the most abundance of these materials?
Emperor Vargas.
Find the smallest town and just try it.
Yeah. Roswell.
We lose Roswell and Hobbs.
Time out. Yeah, we lose Roswell and Hobbs. Oh no. But on the other half of the coin, it could make them better.
Dude, I went to Roswell like about 2 months ago.
Don't care.
Those motherfuckers have a D. No, those motherfuckers have a Dion's now. They have a Dion's. They have a Blake's. They have a Wingstop.
Doesn't make it any better, guy.
Yeah, but it would have made Nimmy easier. How much easier would Nimmy would have been mentally if we had a Dion's? Let's be real.
7% better. I'll give you a hard number there. 7% better.
But anyway, I did get some things leaked for me. I'm obviously not going to spoil it.
Hold on, let me put this back for you.
But oh my god.
Redman.
Okay. And I'm excited for what they're going to do, dude. I'm super fucking excited.
Sorry.
I have a theory though, because
Okay,
they've said in the trailers that they're doing the Illuminati.
Yeah.
And it's kind of obvious that they're doing a like a multiversal type Illuminati, right? Because they showed Captain Carter in the trailers, like her shield anyway.
Yeah.
But I think
I haven't even watched the trailer.
so. Yeah. Well, Captain Carter's in the movie. Sorry.
No, I saw the still of that.
Well, I think because if you piece the little pieces of the trailer together, what I'm thinking is going to happen is they're going to take the proper Doctor Strange. They're going to take him before the Illuminati, and 'cause I think the whole plot of the movie is going to be Wanda figuring out about the multiverse. And because of WandaVerse, where like she had kids at one point, she finds a universe where her kids are alive. She's going to fight to get there. But then because of the whole No Way Home incident, Doctor Strange is going to get put before the Illuminati. And they're going to be like, hey, you cracked open the multiverse. That's not okay. I'm sure they're gonna make a reference to Loki. Did you watch Loki?
I think I finished it. I don't remember.
So the reason why all this is able to happen is at the end of Loki, Sylvie killed He Who Remains.
Yeah.
Remember that? And so the multiverse kind of started splintering open. So I think Wanda is going to find out that Stephen Strange is going before the Illuminati and they're going to close the multiverse. And what it looks like is she's assaulting the Illuminati headquarters. I think she's going to kill most of the Illuminati. And that's how because my Illuminati lineup is going to be, we already know Baron Mordo's there. We already know that Professor X is there in some capacity. And then Captain Carter. I don't think Captain Carter. I think she's on. Well, because Steve.
Do you think Captain Carter is part of the Illuminati?
Yes. Well, because they don't have Steve Rogers anymore. They have to fill that slot. I think it's a multiversal Illuminati. So I think she's filling what Steve would have been.
I think old Steve Rogers is going to be part of the Illuminati.
Negatory. Apparently, there's a rumor that Chris Evans is doing some like silent contracts with Marvel to come back.
Oh, fuck that, dude. Get him out.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
No,
yet.
I don't feel good about it. Just get him out. He's done. He's old and dead. Let him die. Unless he's going to come back as old man Steve Rogers. Get him the fuck out.
That'll happen at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
But
let him be a mentor to fucking new Captain America. But what the fuck are you laughing at?
I just thought of Steve Rogers beating the shit out of like Red Skull with a cane.
Okay, that was worth it.
But I think it's gonna be so those
mind of a child. Am I right?
It's gonna be those three, a version of Reed Richards, just a version. There's rumors that it was gonna be Eoin Grufford or whatever from the old school Fantastic Four. Mm-hmm. He's gonna show up. It's either gonna be him or John Krasinski. That's where my money is. I don't know where to put it, but one of those two. I think they're going to bring the dude who played Black Bolt in the canceled Inhuman show that tanked, but I think they're going to bring him back.
Never even watched an episode of that.
Yeah, no one did. And then I don't know who else. I think it'd be funny is like as they're revealing the Illuminati, the last minute, because there's a little snippet in the trailer where they're all walking to their seats, but you don't see who it is because they blacked out the shadows. They like CGI'd it. I think the last person to walk out is going to be Deadpool. I think it's going to be Deadpool.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Don't tell me. Sorry, it made me think of TV shows. You know, I would like to see, but I wouldn't want it to get made, was be a Miles Morales TV show.
He needs a movie.
Or a movie. But the reason I don't want that is because I know Jaden Smith would be Miles Morales.
You think so?
I think he's whiny enough to get the part.
I think it should be the black kid from Stranger Things.
That's what I would want. I would want something like that, but I feel like Jaden Smith would get the part.
Did you play the
Because he's a whiny bitch.
Did you play the Miles Morales game?
Jaden Smith is a whiny bitch.
Yeah, I agree. The whole family
like his
is.
dad.
That whole family is.
Anyways, sorry. No, I'm not. I've seen this. Both will play it.
It's good.
What?
It was David.
Oh, I've seen David play it. Sorry.
It's good.
It looks cool.
It's
looks
fucking
really cool.
It's a good story too.
I don't own a PlayStation, so I don't play it.
But yeah, I think she's gonna kill a few of them, and the ones that she kills, like if it's Eoin Grufford that shows up, he's gonna get killed and then replaced by like the proper MCU version. Because I don't think it's a coincidence that 2 weekends ago, Kevin Feige and his cronies, they apparently went off to their like vacation home and like planned out for the weekend, like planned out the next 10 years of Marvel, and that's what they do. Did you know about that?
No.
Yeah, they go out. They have like a Marvel retreat where all the creators go out to, and they plan out
a bunch of mushrooms and just fucking go at it.
Yeah,
Mushrooms, coke, you name it.
well, they did that after like Iron Man 2, and they did a reshuffle after Age of Ultron,
Yeah.
and he brought the Russos out there. Yeah, so what I think has happened, they went out there, they made their plans, and then because like I think 5 days ago it was announced that John Watts is leaving Fantastic Four as a director, which I'm so happy about.
I don't know.
I'm so happy. He's the guy who directed the Spider-Man movies. And I think what happened is they went out to their retreat, and either before, like leading up to it, or while they were there, I think they got John Krasinski to sign on as Reed Richards and the director of Fantastic Four.
You think so?
I think in the next 2 weeks, we're going to get an announcement that John Krasinski is directing Fantastic Four. I think they were like, hey, John Watts, listen, sit back, drop Fantastic Four. Because the reason they gave that he was too burnt out to play or to direct the movie, but then literally now we're getting reports that he's expected to come back to direct Spider-Man 4. So I think it's bullshit. I think they were like, hey, just take a back seat. We'll give you a list of Marvel movies and to choose from, and you'll get Spider-Man again. But we got Krasinski. Everyone wants Krasinski. He's a great director, a great storyteller, because those Quiet Place movies are great.
Oh, they're so good.
We're going to get him to come in and direct, and you can do whatever you want in the future. So I think in the next 2 weeks, we're going to get Krasinski confirmed. And I think, I wish Krasinski, I hope he's in Doctor Strange. Because I want Reed Richards so fucking bad, dude.
Do you think Krasinski will play his own Reed Richards?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty tight.
That'd be fucking
I didn't
great.
even know. Actually, I didn't know he directed Quiet Place.
He directed 1 and 2. The Quiet Place, the first Quiet Place was his first movie ever directing.
He really shot up from The Office.
Yeah.
Talk about a staircase up. You know.
Yeah. Him and Carell are the only ones from that show that really had a future, huh?
Him. I don't remember their actual names, so I'm gonna go Jim, Pam.
Didn't really do anything.
Pam's in a few movies, not really though. Huh?
Not really.
Not
I
a
saw
lot.
her in Blades of Glory the other night.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was a long
she
time ago,
played
though.
the weird girlfriend, right?
Yeah,
Like
she played the sister of the
She's been in a lot of movies.
the incest twins, the incest brother and sister.
What?
Yeah, the other team, the other American team, the brother and sister.
She was.
They were like making out and fucking shit.
It was
you remember
incest. No,
that? Yeah.
I haven't seen Blades of Glory in years.
Oh yeah. No, it was really weird.
Stronson Fairchild. I don't know her actual name.
Jenna something.
Fisher.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jenna Fisher.
But anyway, I think because I've been reading.
Dwight, not really. I saw him in something the other day. I forgot what it was. I was like, oh, that's fucking Dwight from The Office.
Oh, Rainn Wilson.
Yeah. But I think that's really it.
Yeah, I think that
No one else kind of took off or made anything from that.
I don't know. All I know is I've been reading a lot of Fantastic Four recently. Like I recently got the omnibus for Hickman's run, and it's really fucking good. Like it deals with.
Oh, look at that shit. 2019 Threat Level Midnight, the movie.
Oh, because they released it officially.
Yeah.
But they because like in the story, what's super cool is like it's after Civil War, it's after Secret Invasion, and Reed Richards feels responsible for all the major events in the Marvel Universe, and he feels like he could have prevented them. So he starts working on these equations on how to like go through the multiverse. Well, that's his plan. Is first of all he makes this machine to where he can like look in like these windows, and he almost puts on like a Cerebrus type helmet, and he can look into these windows into the different universes.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, well, there's 6 point whatever million universes of the Marvel universe. Okay. Then he puts in the computer how many of them resulted in a civil war, and he's like all of them. So all of them, a civil war happens in the Avengers. So it's like, okay.
So an Avengers Civil War, not white versus blue.
Yes.
Gray versus blue. What color would you consider that? Gray?
It was gray.
Right.
Yeah, it was great.
Gray.
And then it was like, okay,
I don't know.
out of all these
I think
civil,
grayback was like a term for them or some shit.
Isn't
It was
gray
something
the same
really
thing as
it was like out of all these Civil War events,
Dark white.
how many of them ended peacefully? And it was like 600 and something out of the millions. It's like, okay. And then so out of the 600, how many of them ended peacefully because of me? And it was like 16. So he looks into these different universes on ideas, and he ends up going into this like it's almost like purgatory type of area, and he meets all these different versions of Reed Richards of himself, and it's called like the Council of Reeds. And what it turns out is like this council of
It's a council of Ricks.
That was right. It was grayback.
and the Council of Reed Richards turns out to be like major players in how the Marvel universe has changed and how they end up, and like what happens if like Galactus shows up. One of them actually ended up killing Galactus and burying him. Like
Where would you bury him?
in a planet.
That's so lazy.
Yeah,
Let's be real.
they buried him at the center of a planet. So I don't
Isn't
know.
he bigger than planets?
It's a really big planet.
It depends on.
Doesn't he eat fucking planets?
He scales down though. That's how he invades Earth.
I know, but
Have
like,
you never read?
The original Fantastic Four?
But I'm just assuming if he died, he returned to his original size, right?
Well, I don't know. I'm not that deep into it.
But anyways,
Yeah, I don't. That would be dope if we saw
that's
Galactus in this movie.
so
though.
was that an idea or was that a rumor?
For who? Krasinski?
Yeah.
It's all rumors right now, but it's all but confirmed.
So it's not gonna happen. Okay.
I think it will.
I don't think so. I think we'll get Krasinski. I don't think we'll get the whole fucking other story half you were talking about.
No, we're not going to get Council of Reeds.
No.
But I think we're going to get Krasinski.
That'd be cool. Didn't someone come out with that, like as a fan fiction or whatever, or a fan art? Mm-hmm. It's Krasinski as Doctor.
Him as Reed, and then his wife Emily Blunt as Sue Storm.
Emily Blunt.
But there's a leaked cast list of who would play who, and I don't think it's true because it kind of got snuffed out pretty quick. It was so bad though. The only ones I remember was do you know who Glenn Howerton is from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? He's like the skinnier white guy that's not Charlie Day. Kind of long face.
The brother?
I think, yeah.
Not the heavy brother, but the fucking prissy brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's Reed Richards.
Oh, gross.
And then Seth Rogen plays the Thing.
No. Bro, that's fucking a joke for sure.
Could you imagine if Marvel did that, though?
No.
I can.
Fuck no.
I could imagine that.
I can't. I don't want to. I'm not going to be mad. No, it's gone. Out. Bye-bye.
Are you gonna see Doctor Strange this weekend?
I don't know. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see.
I want to talk about it with someone who cares. 'Cause I know you're not gonna go see it anytime soon, are you?
Well, I would go watch it tomorrow, but I go to work.
What time do you go to work?
Like 6 a.m.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, tomorrow, sorry, I get your days mixed up. I don't know why I thought you worked
48 hours, bub.
I don't know why I thought you worked Saturday, Sunday, not Friday, Saturday.
I like your socks, by the way.
Thanks.
Thanks, they're
There are no
Briscoes.
shows.
No, not you. Not you.
They're Briscoes.
Those are poor Briscoe.
He left all of his shit here.
I've got his rifle too.
At least I have so many of his suitcases at my house that just are full.
Where's
of
the safe?
in my closet?
Oy.
Oh, I was like, it's in our fucking
Yeah, no, it's in my
front
closet.
room.
It's just full of like, no, it's not.
I was talking about the vending machine that we were going to turn
Oh yeah,
into.
we're turning a vending machine into a gun safe.
How far are you on that?
So far,
At all.
What's the plan?
so far away. So basically because I'm lazy, I just haven't taken it into the backyard to sand stuff, to sand the Coca-Cola sign off. And then the plan right now is, because we're lazy, is we're just gonna paint the whole thing black and then buy a bunch of sticker packs. And as we get stickers, just do a sticker slap. kind
No,
of
leave it
design.
as no. Why not just refurbish it as a
It's
Coke
done.
machine?
It's done. David already sanded one half of the Coke machine off.
Why just not leave it as a refurbished Coke machine that doubles as a safe? That's so much more badass than just a middle school desk for detention.
It's too late now, buddy. We're committed now. We're in the thickums. And see, that's kind of, I don't know. It's there now. So all I can tell you is I'm not moving with it. Spoiler alert. David, or this guy's gonna have to keep it.
That's fine.
Yeah, you get a free safe though. You know, once it's actually a safe. Right now, it's just an empty Coke machine. By the way, which is
It's
fucking
a 200
heavy.
pound paperweight right now.
Yeah, pretty much. But by the way, most of, if you didn't know this, most Coke machines are actually just heavy because of all the internal mechanisms. in
Well, I
it.
would imagine.
Yeah, I did not imagine
He
that.
thought it was gonna be light.
Well, I knew it was gonna be heavy, but I didn't think it was gonna be as light as it was once we took the internals out. I didn't think that's what took up like 60 or 70% of the weight, was just like the actual mechanisms inside. I thought the weight would be on the shell, but no, it was the insides.
Fuck that. Yeah. God bless.
Super fun fact. I know, everyone listening to this, 3 of you fell asleep listening to that, but
Well, yeah. Before we get out of here, is there anything else you want to talk about? Anything bothering you? Anything you're curious about for Springer to look up?
I'm not looking up married pinups.
Is that your next tattoo or what?
no, we were just talking about tattoos the other night, and I was like, he was tattooing David, and I was just like kind of thinking of ideas, and then we started talking about the Marvel bombshells.
Yeah.
And that artist, and I was like, oh, it'd be cool, Mary Jane pinup, right?
That'd be
And
dope.
so I looked up Mary Jane pinup, and it was just a bunch of porn. Yeah, so didn't get very far in that search.
That artist
Yeah.
also has a very erotic superhero section.
Yeah, I'll send you the link.
Please don't.
No, it's funny, dude. It's funny. Where's my phone? I'll show you one of them. It's
Oh
fucking
my
hilarious. It's a
God.
Batman one.
Oh no.
Oh, you'll love it, dude. You'll love it.
Oh no, I won't.
Yeah, you will. It's fucking hilarious. It's
my
called 50 Shades of Superheroes
Oh no.
by Andrew Tarusov.
I will say though, in complete transparency and being 100% serious, you're getting a lot better with your tattoos. That little Mandalorian, was it Mandalorian or
It
was
was Boba Fett's helmet.
Boba Fett's helmet? Okay, yes, that's really dope. They did on David's leg, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Muy bien. Getting a lot better.
Thanks.
Yeah, I like it. But no, there is one Marvel pinup that I've been thinking of getting for the longest time.
Just look at the whole picture and read the bubbles.
Skull.
It's fucking funny. The naughty parts are blurred out. Jesus, you fucking priest.
Where did you get those bat condoms? I'm Batman. I hate that.
And look at his tool belt. They got condoms out of his tool belt. Come on, that's funny.
That's horrible. Please don't get this tattooed on yourself.
No, I'm just that was the artist. Like he has a bunch of cool art, but then like he just has this I guess weird fascination about making superheroes and weird things porn.
That's not okay.
No.
But yeah, there's a Scarlet Witch one that I was thinking about getting. That's pretty dope.
Where's
But
the one that was funny? Which was the other one that was funny?
The vegetarian one.
No, not really. Kind of.
I thought it was. It was like Harley Quinn and
Poison Ivy.
Oh yeah. And then there's Peggy and Captain America, and she's like, say something nasty, and he says, "Hail Hydra."
There's a Deadpool one of him getting pegged.
Oh yeah.
What happened in the movie is not exactly inaccurate.
Yeah. See. Dude, it's okay. They're just funny at this point. But yeah. But he has some cool art too.
So on that note,
Like here's some art that's not porn that I was actually thinking about getting tattooed. See, like he's just
okay, that's not too bad.
Fire Nice Baby. He's got weird shit, but he's also got cool shit.
I fucking hate Albuquerque so much. Yeah, I mean it's a little graphic, but
Sorry, I forgot you're a priest.
do what you want. No, but I'm just not gonna get naked women tattooed on me.
Pussy.
No, thank you.
Why not?
Yeah. Anything else
Aren't you a man?
before we cut out? Anything you want to talk about?
I was gonna say, let me tattoo the American traditional like mustache dude that I was gonna do for my Halloween pumpkin carving. It's a dude's face with his big old giant mustache, but like it's like a girl's legs like right underneath his lips, so you can't tell what the hair's from. Let me do it.
No.
Let me tattoo it on your ass.
Oh, before we get out of here, can you take a thumbnail picture, please?
What?
It's a phone.
Like the sideways thing.
Oh, of you two fucks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I'm excited as fuck for Doctor Strange. And okay, I'm sorry. This is one thing I wanted to say about Doctor Strange. It's not going to happen, and I get it, but I would really like to see Ghost Rider. I would like to see Nicolas Cage as Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
I would like to see that. That would be really cool. I know it's not going to happen. And I have a feeling that since we got the trailer for Thor, that Jane is going to be a post-credit.
Oh, time out. Have you seen how Jack Natalie Portman is now? Mm-hmm. She's fucking yoked. Mm-hmm. We were just talking about that last night.
Yeah, she looks
2
good.
nights ago. Yeah. Dave was like, "There's no way that's Natalie Portman." And we're like, "It's fucking."
It's Natalie Portman. She's just big.
Fucking yoked.
She's not shredded. She's just big.
Yeah, she just took a bunch of Tren. That's what people who take Tren look like.
That's fair.
They don't look muscular. They just look big.
Well, only Trin, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But I don't know. I'm excited. I'll let you know how I like it. I'm not going to spoil it, but I'll let you know how I like it.
On another note, though, we learned today in therapy that all my depression started in sophomore year at NIMI. Because NIMI sucks.
Why do you think that is? Okay,
Huh?
actually, now that you bring that up, if you're okay talking about it, why?
Why?
Yeah. Because no, and the reason why I asked this though is because like NIMI sucked like pretty across the board for everybody, but I look back on that experience very positively, and I know that I'm in a minority.
Yeah.
So why?
So I think a lot of it started from like we're gonna get kind of weird here, not weird, but like. So he was like, "Hey, so what do you like?" Just totally random. We were talking about something. I don't remember what. We were talking about the crack baby I delivered yesterday at work. Also a different story. Yeah, I know I'm bringing up weird stories totally at the end of this, but yeah, delivered a crack baby at a bus stop. 3 days ago.
Was it your first day on?
It was my third day. It was I was in overtime.
Because you pulled OT. It would have been like 2 days ago.
Monday, no, Tuesday.
Okay, so you delivered a crack baby at a
Anyway,
bus stop.
I delivered a crack baby on a bus stop. I am now a midwife. to that baby.
He's a doula.
That baby is now a child of the state.
Wait, really?
I mean, yeah.
Oh,
So anyways, long story short, baby got delivered at a bus stop. Mom was probably more than likely, hearsay, objection, excuse me, high off her fucking ass.
Yeah.
And so she just didn't give us any information, like nothing like, so basically it's child of the state. She abandoned the baby and there's no legal, oh, by the way, I learned that too from this cop. It's called safe haven laws. So mom has the right to, and like, he didn't know how many days, but like within a certain number of days after birth, to abandon baby and not have any legal repercussions for that. As long as mom doesn't injure the baby and delivers it or abandons the baby to the proper authorities, like a hospital or
like
a
dropping the baby off
church
the fire
or a
station.
fire station or some
That kind
shit,
of thing.
police station, something like that. Yeah.
What the fuck?
No legal repercussions. Yeah. Which is probably for best, but yeah.
I was gonna say I don't know if I disagree with that, but I don't know if I agree with it.
No,
either.
I'm so glad that child is a baby of the state now.
Well, it's better off describing the mom. So anyway, so how does that
So
lead
anyways,
into?
so yeah, we were talking about that, and then like it was kind of like, I don't know, he was looking at his notes, and he's like, hey, so what do you think, how deep is your depression right now? And I was like, oh, fuck, okay. Oh, left turn, all right, let's go there. And we just started talking about that a bit, and he's like, where do you think this started? And I kind of started thinking back. I was like, I didn't think I was depressed in like middle school or anything like that. I don't think any of that. And I was kind of thinking about it. I was like, okay, I was good in 8th grade. I was a little shithead, but I wasn't like fucking depressed or anything. And then like we talked about freshman year, and I was like, okay, I feel like I was okay in freshman year. I think I just fucked off a lot, like at NIMI. Like I just didn't do my homework and shit, but I think I was
As we all did.
pretty genuinely happy there.
Yeah.
And then like sophomore year, I was like, I think that's when it actually started. Was like sophomore year, and I don't know why. It was either over the summer or it was when I got to NIMI. I noticed myself sleeping in more when I shouldn't have been. Like it was rat week. I didn't technically have to go, but I did for like I think I went like 3 or 4 days ahead. And like maybe like
Well, because the band showed up early, right?
Yeah, band showed up early. That's why. And so like we showed up early, and we didn't have to help out with the rat week, but they were like, yeah, if you want to come fucking work out with us or do whatever, you can. And I did for like the first 2 days, and then I don't know what happened after that, and you could either blame it on like other shit, but I was like just started sleeping in, just didn't get it for PT, and I was like, oh, I'm not getting in trouble for it, but I kind of wanted to go, but I didn't, and then just kind of started snowballing from there. I feel like, and then I think it was just a mix of like first of all, it was a mix being ruined to fucking Teasdale. Fuck that guy. Teasdale, if you're listening to this, you're a fuck and you stink. Dude. Okay, he never fucking showered. I'm calling you out, Teasdale. If you want to fucking cut his name, I don't give a fuck.
I won't.
I'm never going to see this guy anyways.
I
but
don't
yeah.
edit this at all.
Yeah, fuck. He didn't fucking shower. He didn't fucking ever do his laundry. All he did was fucking like watch anime titties on his fucking computer all the time. And it was just fucking depressing being in that room, dude. Because every time someone would go in the room and be like, oh man, it fucking stinks in here. I'm like, yeah. Why do you think I'm never in my room? I'm always in like fucking Dominic's room or some shit, just hiding out somewhere else and like not here. That's why. But yeah, anyways, so I think a lot of that attributed to it. Me not like this guy doesn't give a fuck. Why do I want to give a fuck, you know?
Right.
Being in the environment. And then
Interesting.
being in that environment, and then also the environment of like being a fucking like acne-ridden high schooler, skinny as fuck, having to like, oh, I want to fucking kiss girls and be fucking stupid like that, you know? And then you're like competing with fucking like the fucking Bohannons and the other statutory rapists of the fucking fucking cult, you know? Sorry, I'm going off now. Let's just be real.
You're so right, though.
Let's
no,
just-
you're so right.
Let's just be real, dude. You shouldn't have fucking dated a fucking freshman.
No, that's some real shit, though. So, for those of you that didn't if you made it this far, wow. But if
Cut this and put this at the front.
for
Fuck
those
it.
of you who didn't listen to the Riley Day episode, which kind of, I mean, proportion to everything else, kind of blew up a little bit, mainly
Yeah.
on Facebook. But there's a big problem at NIMI with statutory rape, where it's not even like, oh, they were 17 and 16 when they started, and then he turned 18 within, like the 2-year thing.
There's a lot of that, but there's also a lot of.
But there's also a lot of like 19-year, like you're talking about right now, a 19-year-old going and dating a 14-year-old, or a 21-year-old dating a 15-year-old or a 16-year-old, and it's like, why?
Yeah. Well, because it's fucking like it's. Bro, I'm not trying to be a fucking statutory fuckface, but like, if you were a junior college kid, already fucking went through puberty for the most part, or like at the end of puberty, you're jacked or whatever, you're a good looking dude, and you have a bunch of fucking like 8th graders who are just starting their freshman year of high school. That's the epitome, and now they're just surrounded by that. That's the epitome of what a dude is. Not the strangly looking fucking acne ridden me like in sophomore year or freshman year of high school. I'm fucking just being real. Not you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were fucking gangly little fucking freaks back then, dude. And I respect that.
These
and
little
I understand
amoebas.
that. Yeah, dude. Like, why the fuck would you? Why would you want to date that when you could date that?
No, no,
Right?
I'm not questioning.
And that dude's not above it because there's no chicks there.
It's exactly. I'm not questioning the mentality of the kid. I'm not questioning that. I'm questioning the mentality of the 20-year-old.
Oh, the
That's what
20-year-old because he's fucking stuck at a military school, a college or whatever the fuck, when he could be at a normal people college, and the only fucking chicks that are around are probably fucking mostly high schoolers.
There were college chicks there though. Some pretty good looking ones too.
Right.
Let's be real.
But what was the ratio? 50 to 1?
Yeah, not a lot.
Yeah.
All 4 of them were already getting trained on. They were like the Union Pacific, huh?
There was that story even about that, dude.
Oh my god!
Like that video that came out? Yeah, that dude. So there was a chick. I don't remember anything about the story.
It was the basketball video, like 2
basketball
years
video.
before he showed
Yeah,
up.
some chick had like fucking 10 dudes or some shit. I'm probably over exaggerating.
No, you're
in
not.
her room, getting fucking railed on.
Yeah.
Like just a train of dudes railing on her.
So there-
and then she got caught, and they had the commandant and whoever the fuck made the parents watch the video with her in the room.
Well, okay, so here's the full story. That's the highlight reel, but here's like the full story. So apparently, like 2 years before we showed up, there was a problematic like
I found the
freshman,
porn star, by the way.
like freshman or sophomore in college, who was gonna get kicked out. So her and like legitimately like 8 to 10 basketball players in college basketball. So it was all adults by like
Yeah,
legal
those weren't
standards. It
children.
was all adults. They filmed a gangbang in one of these rooms at NIMI. But because of the fact that, no, she was 17.
I don't.
No, she was 17. She was in college, but she was a 17-year-old. And the reason why the parents had to watch, so it was the commandant.
That's right, because she was underage.
Yeah, the commandant at the time, the DCO, Coach Schooley, the female, because the girl was on the volleyball team or some shit. Coach Schooley, the basketball coach, I forget his name, who it was at the time, and he left or some shit. And then the girl that was in the video, and then the parents of the girl all had to sit down and watch the video long enough to where the parents could positively identify that was their daughter.
Yeah, it's fucked
So
up.
they had to wait past the running mascara and the messy hair at some point to just go, oh shit, that's Brittany.
Fuck! Yeah.
Why would of all the names did you pick my sister's name?
I just said.
Why?
I thought of
Why of all the names running through that fucking head of yours would you use my sister's name?
I just thought of the most popular white girl name.
You're not wrong, but fuck, bro.
So, anyway.
Jamie Lynn. Sorry.
Yeah. So, yeah, that place is pretty fucked up. So, anyway, the reason we brought all this up is so you think all these issues started when sophomore year.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, anyways, sorry. Back to the actual story. Let's get a little more depressive here. Yeah, it was just kind of like that, and then he was asking, like, he kind of made a point. He was like, "Did you like not fit in?" And I was like, "Oh no, I thought I did maybe." And I thought about it more. I was like, maybe I didn't. You know, like I just feel like I never found my niche, or my whatever you want to. Is that what's called, niche?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I tried out for the basketball team freshman year, and just kind of
Like
fucking
the crowd,
yeah,
the area.
yeah. Like I tried out the basketball team because I played in middle school. Didn't make the team, so I was like, fuck that. And then really the only other fucking thing that was going on was fucking band. There was no other sports. I didn't like playing football. I didn't like playing baseball, whatever the fuck. Didn't even feel like trying out for those fucking teams. I don't even think I did track. No, I didn't. I don't know why. I should have. Hindsight 2020, right?
Yeah.
But I never found my niche. I just had the fucking band, which is fucking terrible. Which is a terrible, like...
It was a cult within the cult.
Yeah, it was a cult within the cult, and it was like not stress relief. It was just more stressful. And I didn't like super enjoy it. I kind of just got like I went to sign up for NIMI day one, and they were like, "Oh, Captain Lamb, that was his fucking name." Yeah, he came up. He's like, "Hey, you play an instrument?" I was like, "I play trumpet." "Come over here. We'll join the band." I was like, "All right, I guess I'm joining." I'm 8th grader, right? Like, fucking sure. I guess I have to. Right? I'm in military school. This guy's telling me what I have to do. I start doing the thing he tells me.
That's how they got Dom too.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that thing. So anyways, like, I didn't feel like I really fit in anywhere until. Like, I had fucking ROTC or the color guard or whatever, but that was just a fucking another prime example of the fucking Bohannon and the fucking statutory rape shit. Like, being around that constantly, because now not only am I around it in the school, is now I'm part of a 4-person team with Dom who has that going on right now, like, in the team. Like, there is that, constantly watching that with, what's-her-face.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, with what's-her-face and, like, fucking B-bitch, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, constantly around that now. Now, not only... where I thought was like, if I want to say fucking safe space or whatever, but what I thought was something I enjoyed away from the school and all the other bullshit is now I'm around that constantly. So that was, I feel like, another part. Like, just like being around that, and then like not having anything else. Because when you stop enjoying that because of the drama that's going on with that, like what do you do? What do you find, right? Like if that was the one thing you found, like, hey, I enjoy doing this, I like doing this, and now that thing you enjoy doing is no longer enjoyable for you, and you can't go back to, and now you're just in a place that's not even really enjoyable in the first place, because it's fucking military school. Let's be real. As a sophomore, like, and you don't really fit in. You're a fuckface. Like, you're an asshole. Like, you're not. I wasn't a very nice fucking high schooler, freshman or sophomore. Like. You know what? And then it's fucking like I don't know, man.
Well, so let's talk about like the pressure, right? And the social pressure. Now, granted, you went to a normal high school. You went to normal high school, so maybe you guys can speak to this. But like at NIMI, I felt like there's a pressure of this in high school anyway. But at NIMI, there was a
yeah. Okay, yeah. I think I know where you're going with this. Sorry, I'm gonna fucking interrupt you. Social pressure. First academic pressure and social pressure. Yeah. So the social pressure always being around. Like the people who were there, who wanted to go there because they wanted to do something way later on. And we talked about this, I don't remember what time, a way long time ago. We were doing some fun things in the apartment.
Yes.
We're talking about that. It was the being around the culture of kids who grew up with A, probably a lot of money, and B, with parents that were fucking like, you're going to be a fucking, this kind of fucking...
Doctor, lawyer, soldier.
You're going to be whatever.
An officer.
You're going to be that. And constantly being around that, where kids... like 15, 14 years old, where I'm like, oh yeah, I was fucking skateboarding and not doing my homework in middle school, to talking with kids that were like, oh yeah, I was in prep school, my parents had me private tutors and shit, I played the violin master, like that, those kids, and then being around the social pressure of being like, oh, I don't fit in with those kids. Yeah. Right? I don't fit in with that. I fit in with the fuck ups. Like, I now labeled myself as a fuck up because I don't fit in with the kids that actually aspire to be.
And then you start getting your
doctors,
grades back,
lawyers.
and you're like, shit.
Yeah,
maybe I am a fuck up.
Right, and then because of the academic pressure, like, you're like, okay, I don't have the structure that I thought I needed to like do well in school, and I just wasn't there. I guess maybe mentally, I don't know. I probably could have done better if I did my homework. I just didn't do my homework because I don't know why. I just didn't. I was fucking lazy.
Because you were a kid.
Yeah, I was fucking 14 years old. Just didn't do my homework and shit. So. Now I'm getting the grades back. We're like, oh, I'm fucking up. Yeah. And now that's also affecting that I can't enjoy like ROTC and doing color guard and those fucking like.
Because you need those grades to be a part of it.
To be part of the team, to go anywhere.
Right.
Because if you're on academic probation, like I was, you can't go anywhere. Right. Like you're locked. Now you're not only because your grades suffered, now you're confined to your fucking room. You can't leave the fucking school at all to go anywhere. You can't go off base.
You can't leave
because
campus
you're on
at all.
Academic probation. Now you're confined to that fucking shitty place that you already
even the fun things on campus you can't do.
Yeah,
if I remember that right.
Yeah, you couldn't go to the PX. You couldn't go to the fucking fun part of the PX.
The game room or anything
shit.
like
you couldn't
that.
do any of that.
Yeah.
And if you got caught there, you got even more in trouble. So it was like basically, it was a spiral that you couldn't get out of, because if you fucked up again, you wouldn't just go to a different spiral. You would just keep going down the fucking spiral. Like you would just constantly just fuck that. And I think at one point I just fucking said, fuck it, I'm not going to class anymore. And I just slept in, didn't go to fucking class. I went to like probably 2 of my fucking 7 classes during the day. Yeah. Just depressed as fuck in my room, just sleeping all the time. And then I remember at one point, the commandant, I remember his name, not Geraci. Not Geraci.
McGackin.
The old white dude.
McGackin,
yeah. He actually, my parents came down and we had a meeting with me, my parents, and McGackin. And he was like, hey, so what's going on, dude? And I was like, oh, no, just fucking suck at school, I guess, or whatever. And I'm a kid. I don't fucking tell them. I don't think about the problems as they're happening. I don't think like those are issues. So I'm like, I don't know. I just don't think I'm motivated enough or whatever. I'm blaming myself now because I don't think about the outside effects. Yeah. So now I'm blaming myself for all these things that are happening to me that I have control over, but like, I just like, oh, no, I'm fucking 14, 15 years old. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Right? So we have a meeting, and my parents were like, okay, well, it's getting fucking expensive because you lost your scholarship now, because now you're on academic probation.
The legislative scholarship, right?
Yeah. So now I've lost the scholarship, so now they're paying full price for me to go there, which is fucking expensive.
Expensive as shit. It's college.
Yeah, it's college. Expensive as shit. And so my parents were like, well, find a way to keep you here if you want to stay here. So now I'm like, okay, I'll give it another shot. And then like, obviously now I'm thinking about, okay, well now I feel guilty because my parents are spending a fuckload of money on me to fucking be here and fuck up. Exuberant amount of money to be here and fuck up. So at the end of the day, like I remember specifically, I just stopped going to class one day. Like I just didn't go to class again. And then like I look up, or no, it was a day I did go to class and went all those things. And I don't remember why, but I went on my computer when I got back to my room, like during study hour or whatever the fuck. Yeah. And then I remember whatever fucking page we had that showed our demerits and shit. Bro, I had so many fucking tours and demerits for skipping class because it was a 721 every time you skipped the class.
Yep.
Every time. So I had like an exuberant amount, like 200 something demerits and like 100 something tours. And I was like, there's no way fucking out of this hole.
Oh, you're bringing back memories, dog.
Yeah. And I was, so, oh yeah, talk about corporal punishment. So yeah, so if you get tours and demerits, every tour is an hour walking around in the fucking sun in your fucking long sleeve class uniform with a rifle. That's what you have to do, right? And so as a 15-year-old, I'm like, I see 100 of those, and then every 3 demerits is 1 tour, right? Something like that.
Back then, yeah.
Yeah, because 721, yeah, 7, yeah. So every 3 demerits was a fucking tour. So not only did I have the 100-something hours of fucking tours that I owed now, I now have the fucking 200-something demerits. So it's like fucking...
Which was a point system that based... Because you had grades like an A through F scale, and so the more demerits you had, the worse it was, and then so you had like 0 to like 15 or whatever, 20 or whatever was a fucking A, and then 20 to whatever is a B, and it just goes all the way down to F. And
so,
a D and an F in that thing was the probation.
Right, it was academic probation, but it wasn't. You didn't get demerits for the grades. You got demerits for skipping class, and then your room being undirty.
What was it called? Disciplinary probation.
Disciplinary probation, yeah. So not only would I been on disciplinary probation,
you're on academic as well.
Yeah, I'm on academic as well. And I just didn't give a fuck about the tours because there was no way out of that tour hole because every time I cleaned my room, guess who fucking made it dirty? And I got a 412 every time they did a room inspection. Right? So you're like, fuck it. I'm doing tours every weekend now. I can't hang out with anybody because I'm having to fucking do tours because fuckface can't fucking do his laundry.
And so to explain that as well, so you barely have any free time during the weekend, and your guaranteed free time during the weekend is from like 12 to like 6-ish.
Yeah.
And so that's when you hang out, you go off post, you do whatever. But then there's also some time, like, prevented that you didn't have any like events going on. You also had time from like 7:30 to like 10 or 11-ish. But if you had tours, like you're saying, every hour you're literally marching those off. So I think the max you could do in a weekend, unless you were cool with some of the people and they let you like do it after hours and like that. Like I had to at one point. The max that you could do, you did like. You did 3 Friday night. You
do 3 study tours
Friday night, and then you have 5 during the day on Saturday, so that's 8. 3 more at night Saturday, so that's 11. 5 more on Sundays, so that's 16. And then if you were able to do more Sunday night, normally you couldn't, but if you wanted to do more, you could do 19. So let's just round it up, right? So say you do 20 a weekend. Let's just round yours down and say you had 200 tours.
Yeah.
Right. Was that realistic?
Yeah, it's probably realistic.
Yeah, so 200 tours. That means you have 10 weeks. That's provided you never get in trouble again. So 200, you have 10 weeks to march all of these off and you'll be done. But then there's only 16 weeks in a semester. So you only have 6 weekends of free time, if that. But then realistically, you have breaks and you have like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you had 2 weekends out of the semester to yourself if you were lucky, but then you kept getting in trouble.
You're right, yeah. So a 15, 16-year-old is doing this math in his head like, okay, I'm fucked. Like, I have dug this hole so fucking deep when I could have stopped digging, but I was like, nah, that's not a problem. I'm going to just keep fucking digging this hole.
Yeah.
And I was, at the end of the day, I was like, fuck it. I'm done. Like, I called my mom and I was like, take me home. I quit. I'm done. I don't want to be here. And I think that was like probably the first and last time I think I quit something. And it has fucking haunted me ever since.
Really?
Well, yeah, because I like when you think about it, like every culture that I've been around since then is like you don't fucking quit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything I want to be a part of that I am a part of, like fire department, you can't just fucking quit if you're in a fire. You can't be like, I'm done with this and walk out. You can't just do that.
Holy shit, it's hot.
Yeah, like, hey, you can't just turn around and be like, hey, I'm leaving. Good luck. I quit. You can't do that shit, right? And I've, managed to like, so it could be a good or bad thing because now I'm like haunted by fucking quitting. Because dude, for the longest time, and still, I feel like I should have fucking stayed in me and just stuck it out. If I had to do an extra year of college or high school for my senior year, I should have just said fuck it and done it. Like I remember at one point I talked to Dom when he fucking left our senior year because he was gonna have to get held over back.
Yeah, he was gonna be a super senior.
Yeah, because he was gonna be super senior.
We were getting pounded by math.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pounded. Yes. No. Yeah. I say that very specifically. We were, to put in perspective, me and this poor guy, we had to do summer school every year of high school just to keep up with our graduation path. And then our last year of high school, he left after the first semester of senior year. But I had to do it both semesters, where both semesters of high school, I was taking 2 math classes. I was taking the math class that I failed and the math class you had to pass to do the next math class so I could graduate on time. So I'm effectively trying to relearn, which I never did. And then I was trying to do this whole year's worth of bridging and catching up to geometry, which I had no idea how to do.
Yeah.
Like, it got so bad because you needed a D to pass.
Shapes, dog.
No, it's not.
The circle goes into the square hole. Like, how hard is this?
No, because I remember.
Shapes.
No, I remember a big reason why I couldn't do math because I was like, it was half I'm dumb and half I didn't want to pay attention. And the reason I didn't want to pay attention is because like it was like a writing class, geometry. It was like there's like these specific phrases that you had to remember in these math equations that you had to write in. So it's like, blank does blank if, and I don't know why I only remember this one. It's like, if and only if blank then blank, therefore blank does blank. And I'm over here like, stop. I couldn't figure it out. And it got so bad that to keep my fucking 60%, I remember I'd be in this math class, or this math teacher's office every morning, making sure I got 100s on the fucking, on the homeworks. So it would bring like in 2 weeks, it would bring up like my 60 to a 65, right? Or a 66.
Yeah.
I would bomb the test, like get like a 30 on the test, bring it all the way down to a 61, 60.5, and just a rinse and repeat. Oh, you're bringing back memories. Anyway.
Well, yeah, like, and then, like, yeah, you're in math class. Like, we had Pattinson, and, like, you'd be in there fucking learning or, like, not paying attention or whatever the fuck you're doing, sleeping because you're sleep deprived.
Yeah.
And then, like, he's doing a bunch of numbers on the board, and he's like, okay, everyone got that? Okay, no questions? Cool. Do whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like, don't ask questions. I don't want to be the one to ask the question. Yeah. I don't want to be the stupid one.
Yeah.
And everyone does that. I'm sure in every high school. Like, you know, you don't want to be the person that's like, I have a question. Because then now, like, you're holding everyone else up or whatever the fuck. So you just don't ask questions. So now you're just fucking totally lost. And you do that every fucking time you have a class. It eventually adds up to, like, when you get to the test, you're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You know, you try to do the test and you're like, I fucking quit. And then from that, instead of going to fucking Patterson, going to fucking study room, or going to a teacher and be like, hey, I fucking need help. I need help with these fucking questions. I need help with this. I am not understanding it. It's been zoomed past me for the fucking so long. Instead of doing that, and this is the spiral I'm talking about, like as a high schooler, like I just put myself in, which is what he described it as. He said it's oxymoron. They have a major depression episodes. There's mild, major depression episode, medium, and then a fucking severe, right? There's 3 of those. And so like instead of like oh, okay, I'm a high schooler, but I'm in a mild major depression episode. I should fucking get help with this. You just spiral and you go down to the medium and then you go down to the severe, where like you're like, okay, I don't understand the math now, so I'm just not going to go to class because I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's not doing anything for
Exactly
me. I don't understand. So I'm not going to go. Or like you go to fucking sick call and you're like, oh, I'm fucking sick or whatever. You malinger, right?
Yeah.
And I malingered a lot too. I was like, oh, I'm fucking sick, so I can have an excuse not to get demerits to not go to class, you know? So I wouldn't get, it was a bad process. I was working harder not to fucking go to class than I was actually just to go to class and get help.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the spiral a 16-year-old head goes into where you're like, fuck it. Like, if I'm not, this is making my life harder, so I'm just not going to go.
Yeah. Big facts.
Yeah. And that was like a lot of my class, like Spanish too. I was like, I don't fucking understand that shit.
What was that part in the Batman? What? I'm the only one who knows the difference between L and La.
Yeah.
World's greatest detectives.
Doesn't know Spanish. Yeah. No, really, dude. I was like, I don't fucking understand that shit. I think like one of the only classes I went to was English.
Yeah.
Because I know how to write a fucking essay.
I speak it.
Yeah, I speak fucking English. I understand that. Like, I understood English pretty decently. I wasn't the best writer, but I passed that fucking class.
Well, and so I'm not going to harp on it because you perfectly encapsulated what was like academically there.
Yeah, and that's like for me, and I'm fucking dumb, right? So I put hot things on cold things for a living, guys. So anyways, but yeah, like, so, like, just
Put cold things on
you
hot things.
spiral.
Yeah, I caught that. I didn't want to correct him.
Huh?
You put cold things on hot things.
See,
not hot
example A. Example A. I put cold things on hot things and dry things on wet things. Okay?
wet things on dry things.
No. Dry things on wet things. Like someone's bleeding to death.
I was thinking about water.
Anyways.
Anyway.
Yeah, so, but yeah, like, and then you spiral down. I said this like 5 times, and you're just like, fuck it, I don't want to go to class anymore. And then at the point you're like, oh, just keep spiraling instead of saying at that meeting, like, hey, I fucking need help.
Yeah.
Like, I am a high schooler, but I don't understand depression, right? I just think I'm a fuck up compared to everybody else around me. Because they're fucking all A+ stars, right?
At least you think they are.
I think they are, right?
That's a big problem, too.
Because in my mind, I have now put them on a pedestal above me because they came from somewhere else, because they have bigger aspirations than me. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I want to do, but these fucking kids do.
Yeah.
They come from money. They have fucking whatever the fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Right? And now I put them on a pedestal. I'm like, I can't hang out with them because I think they're better than me or whatever. So now I'm going to either just fucking ignore them, or now I'm going to fucking just be an asshole.
Well, and that leads perfectly into the social aspect. So, again, you guys can definitely speak from a public high school as well.
Yeah.
But for me, I remember being there, and like socially speaking, I feel like it's everywhere in high school, but especially at NIMI, it was so like amplified, I guess. Like the idea that you had to date someone, or you had to do something socially, or you had to like socially accepted by doing the whatever, right? And we brought this up briefly when Riley was in here, where it was like for the younger guys, right? We're freshmen, sophomore in high school. We have a crush on whoever we have a crush on. We're into whoever we're into. And you shoot shit. And you're like, well, what about her or her or her? And it's like, oh, well, she's dating this college guy. She's dating that college guy. Oh, she's dating this athlete. She's dating this baseball player. And then it's like, bro, how are we supposed to compete?
Right. And there's no competing.
There is no competing.
Because now you've put...
So then you feel lesser.
Yeah, you put a disproportionate amount of male versus female. There's already like fucking, what was the ratio? 3 to 1?
No. Our freshman year, it was 1 to 10.
1 to 10. Yeah,
for every female, there was 10 males, and it got better. By the time I left college, it was 1 to 7. But even then, it's ridiculous.
So already disproportionate. A.
Oh yeah.
And B, now you're competing. Okay, we've hashed this 1,000 times, but the point being, like, yeah, now the social aspect of it. You put the social aspect where like you feel like you can't reach out to a lot of friends because Dom's struggling. Dom was probably my closest friend in me, and I was like, I can't go to him because he's fucking stupid too. He's struggling in school too. Like he's not going to be any fucking help. He's stressed about other shit too with fucking whatever that fucking love triangle that was going on there. Like I'm not fucking going near that shit, right? So now I can't go to that safe space because there's that fucking triangle going on there. I'm like, I'm out on that. I'm fucking done with that because they're fucking doing their own fucking stupid shit. And then like I feel like I can't go to what's his face? Who the fuck was our TLA for HQ? Valenzuela, because he's a fucking asshole.
He was an idiot.
He was an idiot, and he was an asshole. And I feel like I couldn't. So, anyways, the TLAs, Valenzuela, are supposed to be the adult in charge of the children, like the one adult in charge of the troop, and they're supposed to be the person you go for. Like, hey, I need an adult help.
And more than half of them, especially in high school, they were so inept with dealing with kids.
Yeah, like so I feel like I can't go to him because he's no fucking help. And so instead of at the meeting being like, hey, I need fucking help. I need something. I need a fucking tutor. I need some kind of fucking shit. And I can't get a tutor, by the way, because my parents can't afford it. Other kids can, who's struggling because their parents can afford a fucking tutor because they came from fucking money, which happens a lot in me. But like, I'm like, okay, so I just have to fucking suffer in silence. I just have to suffer by myself. And I got to the point where I was like, fuck it. I can't do it. I can't, as a high schooler, I don't have to deal with this. I have an out. I can just say I'm done. And that's what I did. I was like, I'm fucking done. So back to the point where I was like, in high school at Volcano Vista, where I was like, this is what high school is supposed to be. This is fun. My grades were awesome. Right?
That was like the biggest temptation.
At that, and I got a fucking fresh start. Granted, I had to take 2 online classes every semester. Not that I was taking just to catch back up of all the math classes I failed.
Yeah.
And it was just math. It was just math that I was struggling with in high school. And then I got to the thing, and they're like, okay, well, we're going to start you here, and you're just going to have to catch up. Like, you're going to have to take online classes over the summer. And I was like, fuck it, sure, whatever, let's do it. So anyways, I understood it. I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. And I did stellar because I got a fresh slate. None of my fucking grades transferred over, thank God. They didn't pull my grades and be like, well, you're starting here. Oh, no, they did. They did. All my grades transferred over. So I had all fucking D's, C's, and F's when I went to Volcano. But there's no points in their system. So the minute I did an assignment and I got 100 on it, straight up.
No shit.
Yeah. And so it got to the point in the math class where I was doing so well because I was fucking understanding it. And I felt like I wasn't stupid for asking a question.
Well, even at NIMI though, they used to brag about it, especially when they were talking to like the high school parents. Like the college math is at collegiate level.
It is.
And they teach it that way.
Yeah.
And it's super hard.
Yeah, they're teaching high schoolers college math in a college way, where they're like, hey, this is how you do this is how you do that, just like college. And I know this because I went to college and flunked out. But yeah, I went to college, and that's how they teach fucking college math. Like, it's the exact same. You should knew the fucking same thing. Like you don't have you kind of a UNM experience, not really.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I'm
like,
trying to get
being
for the third
in a
time
UNM
this
college
summer.
class and learning from that math class. That's exactly how they taught it to a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
And you're like, I understand why I got it more at public school.
Yeah.
Because it just makes fucking sense. And anyways, so anytime I did a fucking assignment, I got morale boosted because my now grade is fucking went from an F to a fucking B or whatever because I got 100 points in the system that I have 0 points in now.
Yeah.
I have 0 points in the system. I just have a letter grade. So anytime I did an assignment, got 100 on it, my grade just went up. And it got to the point where she's like, hey, I'm going to hold on to these like 5 extra credit assignments because like if I put in any more, it's just not going to do anything. So if you do bad in the test, whatever, I'll just put in this extra credit so your grade can get boosted up to whatever, back to an A.
Yeah.
And that was most of my classes. And that's how kind of fucking high school went after that. And it was like, I found this fucking idiot and all the other idiots. And I was like, oh, I understand these people. They're stupid like me. Right?
I don't know what you're talking about, man. Medically, I'm solid.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, back to reality. Yeah, like I found the niche.
So
I found the
you
niche of
you
people.
found your group of people.
Yeah, like I already had friends back from when I was in middle school that I kind of hung out with like here and there, and then I found new people. I was like, oh, yeah, I fit in well with these guys. Let's fucking hang out with these guys. And I don't do everything these guys do. I'm not into fucking motorbikes and fucking bicycles and all that cool guy shit.
Motorbikes.
Sorry, I'm on a
from
roll,
Europe
dude.
now?
Yeah. I'm not into fucking dirt bikes and shit and all the fucking truck shit and dip and spit and fucking going hunting and shit like that. I'm not into that as much as these guys are. These guys are really into it, and that's their thing. So they had the niche within the niche. In class, I hung out with them, and then when out of class, they fucking did their little fucking dip and spit and drinking shit in their El Camino, right?
No, he blew that one up, I think, at the time, but we were still getting drunk in the parking lot.
There it is. Yeah. But anyways, I had another niche to hang out after that out of class. Like I had shit and I had friends and I had stuff to do. Like I got really into fucking fighting sports in high school. I didn't have that option at NIMI. Like I think I went to they had this was already way late in the game. They started a fucking judo class at NIMI.
Yeah.
Like our sophomore year. But it was already at the point where I was like
About to head out anyway.
I was about to leave anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, fuck it,
Well, I'm glad you found a route, a place to start.
Yeah, so that's kind of what that therapy. That's kind of now I've been going on in my head pretty much most of the day today since after that. It's just that's kind of the root of where things are happening. So now we need to figure out how to kind of reprogram that, where it's hey, this is where you spiraled. This is what you could have done to not spiral, and let's learn from that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But a lot of the roots from NIMI, and I hate to put the blame just oh, it's all fucking NIMI's fault. No, I could have made better decisions, 100%. Better decisions to the point where I've been trying to get to the fucking point. Sorry, I go off track a lot. Where at the end of high school, I even texted Dom and I was like, hey Dom, you want to go back to NIMI and finish do junior college there? Also wish I would have done that. But I was like, fuck it. Dom was like, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to go to college. I was like, okay, Dom's not going to college. I was like, well, I'm fucking signing up for UNM right now. I fucking should have done was I should have fucking applied to fucking NIMI and gone to junior college at NIMI. Because when I went to UNM, there's no fucking structure, right? And that's something I needed and I didn't understand at the time, that I just personally need structure. And that's not a bad thing. I just need the fucking structure.
It's your personality.
Like the fire department, like everything else, I just need fucking structure. I just need to have structure in my life so that way I don't fucking be like, I can do whatever. No, that's not good for me. No, that's not good for me. If you give me the fucking whole leash and you're like, you can do whatever you want. I don't want that. No. Yeah, okay, I can do whatever I want, but let's pick something and then keep me in the fucking lanes, man.
Yeah.
Keep me in the fucking cage, dude. Hey,
Yeah.
you can do whatever you want in this fucking cage. If you like a dog, you can do whatever you want with all the toys and shit in this kennel. This kennel is where you stay. And that's fine. I understand that. And I will excel. I will excel in that fucking kennel, dude. Or whatever that fucking that one lane on the road. You have to stay in that one lane. I'm like, okay, I can do that. And I can do that well.
Yeah.
And I'll be the fastest car in that fucking lane. But yeah, dude, I just didn't understand that. And I wish, and I kind of did in high school, because at one point I was like, I should probably go to NIMI so I don't fuck up my first 2 years of college. Wish I did, because I would have had more structure. And I probably would have done okay. Because I wasn't a fucking gangly little stupid kid in high school, sophomore and freshman year anymore. I matured a little bit. I fucking understood, hey, you gotta do fucking homework, gotta do this. You had a job. I had a job. I was doing shit. Could have got a job at NIMI as a fucking lifeguard. So there were fucking options I could have done.
Yeah.
And then instead, I just like, oh, fuck, I'll go to UNM. And of course, I fucked off UNM, fucking partied and drank and just did nothing, barely went to fucking class.
That's what I look forward to when I came back on spring break.
Right.
I was like, hey, they party.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of the fucking thing you get into. And then you fucking guys, you and Dom, like, hey, fuck, you live here where all the parties at, right? And so fucking, who do I hang out with while I'm in college now? All the people who have parties all the time. So when these fucking bofos come, I can fucking be like, let's go to a fucking party because I know where they're at.
That's why I think it's so funny because like the last guy we had in here, Sean. That's why I was telling you like when him and I had first reconnected, because like his little sister was a part of the whole group that we used to party with, which is so strange to me.
It's weird.
Yeah, and I mean, granted, I'm glad that we moved past that phase, but it had its day for a while.
So. Yeah. So all in all, the point is like that Nimi was fucking terrible for me personally, because I didn't understand as a fucking child how to get out of that. Yeah. I was too scared to be like, I need help, because that's not the culture we're in there. The culture there is not, I need help. It's like, hey, figure it out yourself.
Yeah, figure it out.
Which is okay at some points. Like
not
when
for kids though.
Not for kids though. Like
not for kids.
Like if you're like doing a team project and like you guys have to figure it out yourself. Like okay, cool, team building. But if you're like, hey, these fucking depressive episodes and shit, you need to figure out yourself. That's not no. Yeah. You need fucking help. But then like you have fucking cases like our friend who got told to kill himself by a counselor. Yeah. And so you're like, would that have even mattered if I had asked for help then?
I was really about to bring that up, is because like people hear stories like this about a place like Nimi, where it's like, well, you have structure, you have help, you just need to utilize it. It's like, okay, yes, there are resources there, but the resources, at least when we were there, not that great.
They're fucking Villanueva for fucking
not
example.
That great.
And he was a fucking resource we were supposed to go to. And how are you supposed to go to him when he fucking thinks you're a fucking fuck up?
Well, then I was having a conversation. I was having a conversation with someone. I'll tell you who afterwards. But she was bringing up people that we had known that had gone to Nimi. They did extremely well. Like they were doing really, really well. But then they got into hard drugs while there. And then they had no help. They had no resources for that. And as a result of that, now granted, did they fuck up to do horrible things? Of course they did. But they were kids. They didn't. A part of you knows better, but another part of you is like, well, this is new and exciting. You're a fucking kid, and there was nothing there to really drag them out of that. There's nothing there to give them resources to pull themselves out or like remove themselves from that. And then because obviously there's a stigma with the military schools where it's like you're super locked down, you're super supervised, and to an extent you are. But on another hand, there were so many things that people got away with. Like I remember one night when I was a senior in high school, a friend of mine, something happened to her at a party, and she's like, "Hey, I'm literally sitting alone." Remember that Starbucks that was across the street? She's like, "Hey, I'm literally sitting alone at a table at Starbucks. I'm waiting for my ride to get me. I'm scared. Can you come hang out with me?" I was like, "I'm on campus right now. It's 11:30 at night. I can't get out of here." But she was freaking out. I was like, "You know what? Fuck it." And I probably shouldn't have done it because I could have gotten in a lot of trouble. But like, fuck it. So literally all I did, you know how they gave us the black sweatsuit? I turned them all inside out so the big white logo wouldn't show. Turned it inside out. And I remember I ran downstairs to the first stoop, and I found one of my college kids I was in charge of. Knocked on his door, he opened the door, and he was like, "Hey, what's up?" I was like, "Hey, listen, man, I gotta crawl through your window." And he was like, "Okay." So he cracks open the window. I crawled out. I literally just sprinted off campus. I left at maybe 11:30 at night, hung out with her, made sure she got to her ride, and then just hung out. Right. I didn't make it back to campus until like maybe 3:30 in the morning. Obviously, my roommate knew what was going on, but he didn't give a shit. Yeah. And made it back same way I made it in, and nobody knew. Nobody said anything. There are night security at the school who's supposed to be doing room checks every hour. That obviously didn't happen.
Do it at the beginning
and
that's
the end.
It. At the end,
if that. Yeah. So it's like I could have. I very well could have. And then I remember one instance, and we'll say our final thoughts and get out of here. But I remember this just brought this to mind. I was a freshman in no. I was a sophomore in college, and I was living in heaven. And I remember, wait, where the fuck was I? I was I was living in heaven, and I got woken up by one of the night security guys, and I was like, what's up? Like, what the fuck? I think I actually told him like, what the fuck? Because it was like 2:00 in the morning. I was like, what's going on? And he goes, hey, I was looking on the cameras, and I think that I saw two females go into a mailroom. I need a cadet witness. And I'm like, motherfucker, you chose me? So I was like, all right, that's it. I was like, all right, whatever. So I get out of bed, I throw my sweatsuit on and get in a uniform. And he was like, this is where we're going. I was like, okay. And I was like, if this is true, I mean, this is like, he had theorized that he had told me, yeah, I saw 2 high school girls go into a college room. And I was like, fuck, man. So I was like, if this is not true, I want to be able to like try to like break, so he doesn't go in there charging like a bull, you know? So I showed up and I knock on the door. Nobody answers. But then the dude who lives in that room came out of the bathroom. And I was like, all right, man, I'm going to give you one fucking chance because the end of your little Nimmy career is walking up the stairs right now. Is there anybody in your room? Just be honest, man. And he goes, no. I'm like, you sure? And he goes, yeah, no one's there. I'm like, all right. So he goes and the guy's like, hey, man, it was a Brock. Remember him?
Yeah.
He goes, hey, man, open your door. And it's okay. So he opens the door. We flick the lights on. And I'm like, all I did, I just poked my head in. I'm like looking around. And I don't even say anything. I'm like, I don't think there's anything here. Brock walks in and big old black guy. And he just yells and he goes, hey, he just yells into the room. And you hear, you know how like the desks had the little drawers that pulled out? So this little blonde head hits the underside of the desk. Goes, ow! And you hear, he's like, right at the bottom. And he goes, get out. And this girl comes out. Dude, she's like fucking 15.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, like 15 years old. And then Brock goes, is there anybody else in here with you? And she goes, no. And he goes, who the fuck else is in here? I saw 2 people. And she goes, no one else is in here. Looks under the other desk. No one's there. Dude didn't have a roommate. So had like the empty side, right? Open up the locker door. No one's in there. And it's like, all right, come here. And I'm already out of the room. I'm just watching from like the railing. And mind you, this is December too. Okay, so I'm fucking freezing, right? It's like 15 degrees outside. And as they're leaving the room, the dude's exiting, the girl's exiting, we hear a sneeze out of the other locked locker, like the wall locker. I'm like, motherfucker. Girl, he unlocks the locker. Girl comes falling out. Another fucking 15, 16-year-old.
Oh, my God, dude.
And I'm like, motherfucker, man. Why did I mean? Oh, the security's why I brought this up. That is a rare instance of them actually checking the cameras, right? Of them actually seeing what's going on.
Yeah, and so like the question is, how many times did that happen before that?
Exactly.
Or currently, you know?
Exactly.
Like the dude just happened to look at the camera and see that and was like, oh, probably deal with that.
Yeah.
That's not many times people like they have the fucking cadets in there checking the cameras or fucking on watch or whatever.
It's just so weird.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fucking put 14 and 15-year-olds on fucking watch for 3 hours, like at night. Like what the fuck? Why? Like who in their mind was like, this is the idea. They're gonna have to do this in the military. They do this in the military, so we should have fucking high schoolers do it too.
And
like,
that was the problem too.
That's stupid.
It's like the adult staff. I'm gonna fucking say this every time this fucking subject comes up, but like the adult staff there are full of, you know, people who had their military careers that didn't go all that great. Not because they got into trouble or anything, but just they didn't arise to the position that they wanted to get to or the rank or the whatever.
Yeah.
And they wanted to push their failed dreams onto a bunch of 15 and 16-year-olds. And it's like, dude, am I wrong?
I screwed it up. It's your problem now.
No, yeah, literally. It's like, I fucked up, so now I'm going to make you live a version of the life that I wish I had.
Yeah.
Which is so fucking wrong.
It's fucking dumb. It's just, it's stupid, bro. It's like when you look back on it, you're like, wow, I can't believe high schoolers were doing like, wow, I don't know, man. Like, I understand like the military school idea, but like just the stupid shit. It's like, they're high schoolers. 15, 14 years old, dude. Like, what the fuck do you think's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I have to be all fucking long-term repercussions, but you know, like it's I don't know, man. Yeah, but so anyways, that's where that's kind of like in my mind when I think about it, like really kind of think about it. It's like where I really noticed it, like where I can like cognitively be like, okay, I noticed something was off then.
Yeah.
Like I never used to fucking sleep in all the time, but I noticed I started doing that then. And then you just go down the branches like, why was I doing that? And like, oh, because my roommate fucking sucked. And then why was, you know, just fucking tree. It just fucking exploded, dude, in my mind. Yeah. I was like, holy fuck.
Well, I'm glad you're getting, like, I'm glad the help is helping.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad about that.
So we're going there. We're going down that fucking rabbit hole now. It's great.
Good. Yeah. All right. Well,
Goodbye, everybody.
thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
I'm seeing Doctor Strange in about an hour. Yeah, about an hour. I'll let you know how I like it.
Tight.
Hopefully it's good. I won't spoil it, but hopefully it's good. Springer, thank you again.
Hello.
Thanks for not spilling the drink on the laptop. Appreciate
It's
it.
only on my leg. You're fine.
And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody. Peace.